Yeah, we done came from the bottom, mad that we up, but I don't hear him talking. Started with knowledge inside of my noggin. We took a dream and then we started blogging. Put my city on the map now. I'ma say how it is and I don't back down. On the road to 100K, we finna act out. We gon' show them that we not just in the background. We the main event, we the main show. We the one that people always gon' pay for. FYF, we the best, no debate though. Number one sports channel, every angle. I'ma show them all how we ride. Best sports talk show, we not like them guys. We playing it safe while they feather the lines. We pushing the narrative all the time. Like who to go in the game is not MJ. Kobe Bryant top 10, not what we say. I keep Elijah one is very overrated. Keep it real if it ain't fact, we don't say it. Now it's stable, we won't be ignored. We number one, especially when coming to sports. FYF bringing the heat here, of course. Where everything backed up with actual source. Everything backed up with actual source.
Nah, that's just passion. We love the game. You already know what it is. FYF. You don't got tough skin. You might as well not even come on in. Talk to 'em. FYF, blow the whistle, man, we too official. Better check the film, we not one of them. The greatest to ever ball above the rim. They wasn't with me shooting in the gym. Cut the small conversation, debate on major levels. This the playoffs, baby, bring that pressure, we never settle. Cross and spin, getting it in, I wanna win. That teamwork got us headed to the ship again. LeBron better than MJ, cut it out. Half these fans in the stands don't know what they talking about. Half-court jumpers, crowd going wild. FYF ranked number one, you better say it loud. Intellectual talk, but fuck your feelings. Elijah one too overrated, Kobe still a realist. Top 10 all time, now how they cut the line. Magic Johnson, Draymond Green, one in the same kind. Fuck your feelings, fast break, stop and pull a J. He got how many rings, nothing else to say. With the team, live streaming, play by play. It's the dream, full steam on the road to 100K. FYF, blow the whistle, man, we too official. Better check the film, we not one of them. The greatest to ever ball above the rim. They wasn't with me shooting in the gym. Cut the small conversation, debate on major levels. This the playoffs, baby, bring that pressure, we never settle. Cross and spin, getting it in, I wanna win. That teamwork got us headed to the ship again. Started small, then turned into big dogs. They treat me like the GM, I just make the call. No matter who my op is, I'ma stand tall. Then pull up to the game, fresh like I just left the mall. 100K, 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 check the score. We gon' bust the shot clock, fans running to the floor. All I hear is go this and go that. Man, your team suck, hang it up like a coke rack. I love the game, I admit it, I can't quit it. Step in front of me, man, your ankles gon' get the business. Been a legend like Moses Malone, way ahead of my time. This the greatest sports show ever, I just had to remind. FYF, FYF, blow the whistle, man, we too official. Better check the film, we not one of them. The greatest to ever ball above the rim. They wasn't with me shooting in the gym. Cut the small conversation, debate on major levels. This the playoffs, baby, bring that pressure, we never settle. Cross and spin, getting it in, I wanna win. That teamwork got us headed to the ship again.
All right, y'all. FYF Sports, man. It's Lamar, man. We back. Salute to everybody in here, man. King Bro, I see you. Rail Lamar. We got Judah back in the building. Jay Will. Appreciate everybody pulling up, man. We got to talk about it, man. A lot of things going on last night in the NBA. Milwaukee Bucks finally was able to stave off the Pacers, man. That's a feisty team, boy. That team does not wilt or back down. They're making it difficult. They're making life hell. Damian Lillard, not particularly sure what's going on with Damian Lillard, if he's even 100% coming back from the blood clots. But the heroics of Gary Trent saved the Bucks last night. I mean, Gary Trent had to come. They inserted him into the starting lineup, which, again, you have to find a way to match the offensive firepower of the Pacers. And that's exactly what he did. He provided Giannis with some help. They pulled out the win. And the other big game of the night, and we'll talk about the Celtics and we'll talk about the Orlando Magic here in a second, but I think the other big game of the night, we was all watching it. Everybody was paying attention to it. Lakers versus Timberwolves. And like I said yesterday, I thought game 3 is probably the most pivotal game of the series, right? Puts enormous pressure on either team going into game 4. And essentially game 4 is probably going to be just as significant, right? Because I think game 4 is a must win for Minnesota if they want to win this series. I don't think they want to tie this up going back into LA. I think that'll be a nightmare scenario for Minnesota. But as it stands right now, Minnesota took care of business, did what they were supposed to do, came out with the win in a performance where, and we're going to go through the film, y'all. We're going to go through the film, and I'm going to talk to you guys about what I saw. But, I mean, it's another game where, just like I said about game 1, it feels like the Lakers are approaching these games like they're regular season games, right? The lack of discipline early in games, the turnovers, the sloppiness, and it's just like, I don't know what's going on here. It's hard for me to kind of decipher what is really going on when they're making mistakes that you typically only see like in the first 25 games of the regular season. And it's just so undisciplined. Like the turnover, LeBron just lost and fumbled the ball and didn't get his shot off. And then it turned into a 3-point play on the other end. Vanderbilt just not being strong with the ball. And he allows Alexander Walker to just tip the ball away, turns into another layup for an and one for Randall. Then Luka Dončić casual with the ball. Rudy Gobert tips it away, goes the other way, another and one layup. Those are 3 turnovers that literally turned into 9 points. I want y'all to just think about that. Like, and it's as insignificant as sometimes you guys try to make turnovers seem, just those 3 turnovers resulted in 9 points. That's just like 3 points. And that's what I'm not really, it's hard for me to really decipher, like, how locked in are they? I mean, obviously this was the Lakers the Lakers are the better team. And I saw in the comments before the stream started, there were a lot of people talking about, oh, the Lakers got size and roster flaws. Every team has roster flaws. The Lakers are the 3 seed with roster flaws, right? Don't be the 3 seed. And then when you're down 2-1 in the series, it's the 3 seed. Come talking to me about roster flaws. Especially when I can look to this game and it has nothing to do with a center standing in the paint. There's a center cannot control turnovers. A center cannot control sloppiness. A center cannot control Luka sometimes just driving in with no plan and just throwing the ball recklessly somewhere, and then it results in a turnover. And you start the game that way. I mean, sometimes you just got to call a spade a spade. I mean, as much as some of y'all want to blame everything else, no, 2 things cannot be true. 2 things cannot be true. There's only one thing true with this game. Do you think JJ Redick, do you think they're going into the locker room saying, damn, we lost this game because we didn't have a center? No, you lose that game because of the obvious that's right in your face. Turnover after turnover after turnover that results in what? It results in points scored. Mental breakdown after mental breakdown after mental breakdown. I mean, there's still a lot of basketball to be played in this series. So this is something that could easily be rectified by the Lakers, but the Lakers are going to have to find a way to be more locked in, more consistently, right? And the mistakes that they were making is just indicative of a team that's just like, where is y'all focus? This is playoff basketball. And that's all we're saying. It's like, obviously the film just shows it. You know, guys driving to the rim. I mean, obviously, Ant-Man is going to be Ant-Man. He had a hell of a game, right? There's only so much you can do to stop him. I mean, I thought that the Lakers defended him well, to say the least. I mean, he's a hell of a player. He's going to get to the rim. But at the end of the day, when I looked at this Laker team, this was more so about the Lakers just making mental mistake after mental mistake after mental mistake. I just don't think two things can be true, because you can literally go to every roster in the NBA and say, oh, we need this. I mean, there's probably only one or two teams in the league that are probably perfectly set as is and don't really have many holes. You're looking at OKC and Boston. Outside of those two teams, you can literally point to every team in the NBA and say, there's a flaw. That roster needs this, that, and other. Do you think the Clippers versus Denver are running around talking about we need this, that, and the other? No, they're just dealing with what they got. It's the turnovers. I mean, when you start the game in the first quarter with 5 turnovers, and the first quarter is not even over, this is indicative of how your night's going to go. I mean, and it's just sad. Like, let's get to the box score real quick for this game. We're going to talk about it. Rui Hachimura, 8 points, 3 of 7 on the night. When I talk about attention to detail, look at Rui Hachimura. This Laker team is most deadly when they find ways to incorporate Rui Hachimura offensively. Because when you get him going offensively, you get the best version of Rui defensively. For Rui to only have 7 shots, he shot 2 of 4 from the three-point line, which is solid. You have to find a way to get him more touches. How? I don't know. But I think it starts, one, with Luka kind of in some sense not being so wild. Driving, jumping off the ground off of 2 feet, committing to bad passes. I mean, and if you're feeling sick, if you don't feel like you got it, then play off ball and let Bron run point. But do not sit there and try to run point, which, again, Luka hit a lot of hellacious shots yesterday, right? He hit some crazy shots yesterday that really kept them in it. So I don't want to kill Luka too much. But when you start that game with as many turnovers as they did, I mean, you're just putting yourself in a hole. Now you're just trying to climb out the hole the entire game. And it's hard to play like that on the road in the playoffs. We got LeBron James. LeBron James, this is his best performance versus Minnesota all year, in a performance where they needed LeBron. Obviously, Luka wasn't feeling 100%. LeBron James started this in the first half. We saw it was going to be a big game. LeBron James, 13 of 21, 5 of 9 from the 3, 7 of 10 from the field, 38 points, 10 rebounds. Essentially, there's no more you can ask LeBron to do at 40 years old, right? And I mean, the only thing you can really point to LeBron and say is the one turnover where he fumbled the ball. But at the end of the day, that's still just one turnover, right? Rui with 3 turnovers himself. Let's go to Jackson Hayes. Jackson Hayes plays 9 minutes, 1 and 2 from the field. I mean, you have a big. Jackson Hayes isn't horrible, but for whatever reason, they are not playing Jackson Hayes like they're supposed to, right? I mean, sometimes Jackson Hayes can be insufferable to a certain degree because he gets confused on all the switches and all the actions, but you may have to just leave him out there for a little bit longer to just kind of see how things go. But at the end of the day, JJ Redick committed to a smaller lineup with Vandy and with DFS, and that lineup could have won this game. Let's go to Luka Dončić. Luka Dončić on the night, 17 points, 6 of 16, 2 of 8 from the 3, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 5 turnovers. Austin Reeves was another good game for Austin Reeves. 7 of 18 from the field, 20 points, 5 of 11 from the three-point line. He had a really good game, but 4 turnovers from Austin Reeves. Jay Lou says, how is the Lakers a super team? And look, the title is the title. It's clickbait. Nobody really thinks they're a super team. It's just banter for the title. Focus on what we're talking about. How the Lakers literally gifted this game away with so many turnovers. All right. When you look to the bench, Dorian Finney-Smith, some good minutes defensively, especially, and some good minutes offensively. He made some crucial threes to keep them in it. 29 minutes, 8 points, 2 of 4 from the three-point line. And Vanderbilt also, I felt Vanderbilt has some really good minutes as well. I wish they could find more ways to get him going, maybe actions out of the short corner to get him some easy buckets. But Jared Vanderbilt defensively, a very solid game for him as well. So when you look there, but outside of that, they didn't really get much production off the bench. I liked Gabe Vincent's minutes. So I just don't know why Gabe Vincent didn't get more tick, but I thought offensively Gabe Vincent had a good flow and feel for this game. For whatever reason, he just didn't get many minutes. I would have had Gabe absorb a lot of Luka's minutes, especially those minutes where he just looked like he didn't have it. He was out of rhythm, out of sync, and there were just portions where he just essentially gave up on plays. Whether he was not feeling good, he just did not have it last night. We got Go James Kingdom. This game's on JJ. I don't necessarily put it on JJ. I mean, maybe it's his job to get the guys locked in and focused, ready to play. But we're talking about players that are vets in this league, highly experienced, that should not be making the mistakes that I saw them make. I mean, you can look to this game. This game was lost by the simple things: missed free throws and turnovers. If you look to miss free throws and turnovers to this game, you will literally see how the Lakers fumbled this game away. And they had multiple opportunities to win this game. They went up late. They tied it late at 103. I'm talking about you had multiple opportunity after multiple opportunity after multiple opportunity to seal this game. And it seemed like the only team that was willing to snatch the game was Minnesota. When its game was tied at 103, what did Ant-Man do? Get the ball at the top of the key, knocks down the three to give them a go-ahead lead. Right? So all we got to do is the hungrier team won this game, and you just got to give it to Minnesota for showing up, taking advantage of the moments, even after Minnesota themselves made a ton of mistakes that kept the Lakers in the game. Real Lamar said blown layups, possibly blown layups or blown layups. I think when you looked at this game, when you looked at the Lakers shot 13 of 20 from the free throw line. They shot 65% from the free throw line, right? In a game where they would have been up late if they just make their free throws, right? And that kind of changes the scenario. That changes the dynamics of how the game is played. But they missed a ton of free throws, and they turned the ball over a ton. So 16 turnovers on the night that led to well over 18 to 20 points off turnovers. I just think you're shooting yourself in your foot when you turn the ball. And remember, turnovers in and of themselves aren't necessarily killers. But it's the live ball turnovers that were killing them. The steal on Vandy at the end, the steal on Luka, sloppy with the ball, Gobert pokes it away. It's these live ball turnovers. When LeBron fumbles the ball trying to shoot the three, he doesn't hustle to get back, and then it turns into a and one play going the other way. It was turnovers like that literally just killed them and shot them in the foot. And I just feel like for the Lakers, this is a good problem to have, because it's not schematically. I felt like when the Lakers were locked in schematically, they were the better team. Defensively, they had the better defensive game plan. It's just the boneheaded mistake after boneheaded mistake that consistently gave Minnesota too many chances to score, too many additional points on the offensive side of the ball. But I mean, again, you just got, I think it's obvious. Basketball is not very complicated. This is not about roster, just about not needing new players and none of that stuff. It's very simple. All right, y'all, let's get here real quick. We're going to cook on some stuff. I'm going to pull up this film. Let's get to Minnesota as well. Minnesota, again, Minnesota only went 8 deep. They didn't really go too deep in that bench. But the guys that played gave high quality minutes. Anthony Edwards, 29 points on high efficiency. Jaden McDaniel is just a guy where, look, he cannot be running around dropping 30 points on you in a playoff game. Salute to Foxy Brown in the chat. Salute to Mar. Salute to Ty GG. So, salute to everybody that's pulled up. Salute to Tim Jones. Appreciate y'all pulling up. Make sure if y'all see it at the pinned at the top of the comment section. If you do want to send a super chat, if you have a question that you want me to address, make sure you click that link, go over to FYF Sports Clips to send you a super chat. You can always come right back over here to watch, but you can always go over to FYF Sports Clips where we're also live to send you a super chats. If you choose to do so, you can also hit the PayPal or the Cash App if you do want to donate to the channel. This is going to be a call-in show. I'm going to be dropping the link very soon here. Go James Kingdom says McDaniels balling. Yeah, McDaniels has been balling, but what I think is every closeout on McDaniels needs to be a soft closeout. I mean, if McDaniels can beat you making 7 of 10 threes or something like that, okay. But at the end of the day, you cannot allow McDaniels to get flying to the rim, power dunking the ball, getting there one layups. That's how he gets going. That's really his forte, when he can get ahead of steam to the rim and really start operating on the inside, right, as a slasher. Turn him into a catch-and-shoot shooter and just contest. But a lot of these closeouts were horrible late in this game, and as you guys are going to see from the clips that I pull out, there was a late closeout. I think it might have been on Luka. He closed out poorly. McDaniels blows by. Rui steps up. Rui did not stop the ball. Rui just plays him at an angle. He just literally sidesteps up the baseline right past Rui and reverses to the other side of the rim. And it's just like, you cannot let Jaden McDaniels get through a wall of defenders that easily. If anything, he needs to be going to the free throw line to shoot 2 free throws. But the fact that he was able to blow through a wall of 2 defenders, absolutely no resistance, and get an easy layup late game, it's just baffling to me. And this is what I mean. It's just like, I don't know where their focus is, because it's simple stuff like this that in the playoffs you just got to lock in. We got Tim Jones in the chat. Yes, he was trash during the most important minutes of the game. I'm assuming you're talking about LeBron James. No, he was not trash. LeBron James was the best player on the court last night. If you're talking about LeBron, I don't care what minutes you're talking about. He was, just like Ant-Man said, he was the best player on the floor. I mean, again, I don't know what y'all were watching. And if a 40-year-old is the best player on the floor, when you got Luka, Dončić, and a lot of these other players on the court, you got problems. When it was winning time, Brian disappeared. No, when it was winning time, what you saw was the Minnesota Timberwolves load up on LeBron James, sending two and three guys to the ball. That's what you saw. That's what you saw. I mean, just be honest about what happened late game. Y'all acting like they were guarding LeBron the exact same. They knew LeBron was a threat. The late game, they went into super deny mode on LeBron. They were pressed up on him. They were essentially playing a 1-on-1 on him to keep the ball away from him. This was they were not, they were not just guarding him typically. Yeah, he airballed the shot because it was highly contested and the shot clock was running down. What do you want him to do? Just let the shot clock run out? It's sad how y'all just can't give credit where credit is due. The man dropped 38 points and kept the Lakers alive for most of the game. Shot after shot after shot. Of course, there were mistakes that were made, but LeBron James was the only reason this game was even close for the most part. Right. Salute to everybody in the chat. Champ Lou, Mar, Boo. We got Goat James Kingdom in the building. Goat James Kingdom. Make sure y'all check him out. He's going to be live tomorrow morning here on FYF Sports. Make sure y'all always tune in for his show. Salute to everybody that tuned in to his show last night. He had a really good show following the FYF Sports live stream. Salute to Blaze, RTP. Two Wheels is back. Peter Bagjuice is back, man. Back with his regular account, too. Mar, he says, at Mar, you got him right where you want him, Mar. I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming y'all going with some LeBron narrative. Let's get to this film real quick. And then after I get through this film, we're going to drop the link, bring everybody up. We're going to cook on this right here. Let's see what we got. Salute to One Mic. And One Mic, we got to give a big salute. One Mic, I got to make sure I add you to the donation banner. Because One Mic, and actually let me do that right now, because we had One Mic and we had a couple guys yesterday, like Muslim made, that definitely support it. So we're gonna get to the film, and as that film plays, I'm gonna get you guys on that banner.
Certainly a candidate for best defensive performance of the season in that game 2 victory. Luka Dončić, his first series as a Lakers, putting up some big numbers as expected. Kicks it out in the corner. Rui Hachimura knocks down the first shot of the game. Hachimura guarding Conley. Hachimura's been quite the versatile defender. Couldn't stop Conley there. Offhand floater.
Maybe not for a shot attempt, but he's being aggressive against Luka.
McDaniels fakes the three, drives, goes right at Jackson Hayes and puts it in. What a difficult shot for McDaniels. And everybody on Minnesota talked about getting off to a good start. They've trailed after the first quarter, and it's Anthony Edwards from long distance. The T-Wolves have trailed after the first quarter. Randall whips a pass. McDaniels, a much improved offensive player, gets to the rim. 9 straight points now from Minnesota. Hachimura on the rebound. Quick outlet. Here comes James in the open floor. One man to beat. It's Randall. Lays it up and in. Still with that burst of speed. Dončić pulls up. Corner jumper's good. The high archer. Luka Dončić gets past Edwards. Dončić kicks it out. Reeves. Good open look for three. That's good.
And I love that. I love that.
Finney Smith cuts. Gobert right there lurking. Finney Smith blocked by Gobert. Edwards with the slam.
And see that in and of itself right there is another live ball turnover, right? Guys not super focused on getting back on defense, containing the basketball after a mistake is made. That's one turnover right there. Aside from the other three that I mentioned that turned into instant 2 points. Right. Let's see how many other turnovers also just evolve right into points scored that literally gives Minnesota just extra points that they otherwise probably wouldn't have had out of the half court.
The Lakers thought it was a goaltender. McDaniels goes inside, drives, and another finish.
And why play McDaniels like this? Why are you pressuring the passing lane on McDaniels to put yourself out of position like this? You play back, let him catch the ball. He's not the threat that Randall is. He's not the threat that Ant-Man is. That's who you probably want with the ball with the other options on the court, right? He's not the three-point threat that Naz Reid is. Just contain him. But when we go back and look at this, look how Austin Reeves is guarding the passing lane.
Slam! The Lakers thought it was a goaltender.
Look at this. I mean, why jump the passing lane there? Like, let him catch the ball. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Who cares if he catches it and he's 3 feet beyond the three-point line? Right? Your defense is already loaded up. But you see, it's mistakes like this that really burn you right there. Right? If he can shoot a 27, 28-foot three and knock it down, contest it, fine, live with that. But do not allow this man to get free range drives right into the middle of the court. And I talk to y'all all the time about what? Not allowing players into the middle of the floor. Because when you allow players to the middle of the floor, look what happens. It's too hard to stop them. And I don't care how good of a rim protector you got down there.
Daniels goes inside, drives, and another finish. When you see him in person, you realize how long he is. At just 9 in game 2. DiVincenzo the handoff. Gabe Vincent's come on for the Lakers. DiVincenzo from way downtown. Edwards double team inside to Randall. Good position. Backs it home. Timeout.
It's lack of focus. Your defense is already loaded up, and you allow a bounce pass right through the heart of your defense. And when you're looking at Rui right here on this trap, what is Rui doing? You're either up on the ball or you're all the way sagged back. But he's just playing in between in no man's land. Like, look at this. I don't know what Rui's doing right now. He's doing jumping jacks standing right there. I want y'all to see this. Rui needs to be doing one thing and one thing only if he wants to be effective right now. He needs to jump to the ball, jump up to the ball and apply a real trap. That's real pressure, because only thing Ant-Man is doing right now is surveying. I got 2 on me. I just need to find the open man, right? Really, it's good defense. But when I talk about having these defensive breakdowns, it's mistakes like this. Like, Ant-Man is a very good player. If you don't completely trap him like the Lakers were doing in the fourth, when they were really pressuring him with 2 guys and you turn him into a playmaker, that's what you want to do. But do not let him sit in between and either potentially be a scorer or be a playmaker with a pass this easy right around you. And I think with Rui, I think this was a huge mistake. Guys should be yelling at him right now, right? Whoever's at the top should be yelling at Rui to trap. Whoever's behind Rui should be yelling at him to trap. Gabe on the back end should be yelling at guys to step up ball side. But nobody's doing it. Nobody's doing it.
Edwards double team inside to Randall. Good position. Backs it home. Timeout. Here's Reeves. Gets past Randall. Nice feed inside. And Vanderbilt throws it down. Turned it around. They're kind of up and down. No fouls to give. Drive. Dončić goes inside. Shot won't go. The follow is good. Finney-Smith. Good hustle play. 0.6 of a second remaining.
But what weren't you happy with in that first quarter?
I just thought our ability to contain the basketball, they got us in the blender too many times. That led to points at the rim. That led to open threes. Got to do a better job with individual basketball containment.
Luka apparently not.
Exactly what I said. They got to contain the basketball. When we talk about in that first quarter, what we saw with Austin Reeves going for the steal, not containing the basketball. McDaniels gets into the paint. We talk about Rui. When they're zoned up, he needs to be trapping the ball out of the triangle and 2, but he's just standing in between doing jumping jacks, not containing the ball. You're literally just giving up free points. I mean, this Minnesota team struggled all year for a reason. This Minnesota team was inconsistent all year because, one, they are easy to defend if you are disciplined. That's the one thing about this Minnesota team, and that's why Minnesota has struggled to really get over the hump this year, right? They are very easy to defend if you stay disciplined. And I think that's what it's ultimately going to come down to. We got Tim Jones says Lakers are better with AD. Well, Tim Jones, the reality is that AD is no longer a Los Angeles Laker. I don't know why after these games, you know what? The Lakers were better when they had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I mean, I can say a whole bunch of combinations. The Lakers were better when they had Shaq and Kobe. At the end of the day, what's gone is not walking back through the door. I'm only here to address what they have and how they can rectify the problems with the roster that they have. I don't know why y'all talk about, they was better. Yeah, they was better with Kareem. They was better with Magic. They was better with Shaq and Kobe. But who cares? That's old. I mean, and y'all say this stuff what? So y'all can run around and just try to throw shots at GOAT James Kingdom when ultimately he was still right. Dallas is at home. They didn't even make the playoffs. They flopped and folded just like we all knew they would without a real point guard on the court. I know that was for a Johnny. I just said that. All right, man. I mean, again, look, if you feel like it, like, how about this, Tim Jones? If you feel like AD was a good defensive anchor, we can set the head-to-head debate up with you and A Johnny, where you, in 3 rounds, you can come up here, you can debate A Johnny in 3 rounds about what a great defensive anchor is. If you're not willing to debate him on a debate channel, stop. Why are you throwing shots? Don't. I know, Tim Jones, if you debate for money, that's what we do. We put the money in a neutral cash app, the winner take all. We have all neutral judges. The judges are not hiding behind some back wall. You see all the judges, and they will explain how they vote. If you want to take the debate, take the debate. Don't be throwing sidewall shots if you ain't really willing to debate nobody. Hey, Johnny, look, I had Tim Jones. I'll make it easy for you. I'll put up the money for A Johnny. That way is already cleared. So again, if you're not really trying to debate, stop throwing these shots. Especially on defensive stuff that we know you don't know nothing about. So Tim Jones, when I drop the link after I do this, we're going to set that debate up. He said he's game, hey, Johnny. Hey, Johnny, he said he's game. He said, I'm game. But we're going to lock that in. We're going to lock that in, Tim Jones. We're going to get that done ASAP. Let's get back to this film.
Feeling well tonight. Just what adjustments do you have to make if he's just not right?
I mean, he's out there. We're gonna treat him like he's Luka. He's been battling it for the last 24 hours. He's trying to give us what he's got.
All right, thank you. Mike.
All right, Lisa, old school is Reed.
Did y'all see another live ball turnover that turned into 3 points? Let's look at this right here. I want y'all to look at this. Another live ball turnover. This is not even one of the live ball turnovers that I told you about. Look at this. Look how sloppy Austin Reeves is with the ball. Sloppy with the ball. Give the ball up to the open guy in the corner. Look at the guy in the corner just streaking down the court. What the hell is Austin Reeves doing? Just give the ball up to the open man. Advance the ball. Put pressure on the defense.
Treat him like he's Luka.
But he's holding the ball.
He's been battling
holding the ball. You still got Gabe Vincent in the corner, wide open. You allow the Minnesota defense to recover. And then while you're goofing around with the ball, look at this.
Apparently not feeling well tonight. Just what adjustments do you have to make if he's just not right?
I mean, he's out there. We're gonna treat him like he's Luka.
Sloppy.
He's been battling it for the last 24 hours. He's trying to give us what he's got.
Turnover, and then nobody gets back. Turnover, nobody sprint back. Then turnover, instead of Austin Reeves fouling and committing a real foul that puts him on the free throw line, he allows an and one.
All right, thank you. Mike.
All right, Lisa, old school is Reed. Draws the foul and puts it in.
So far, just in the highlights, we are at 5 points off of 2 turnovers. That's just the highlights. That's not the ones that's not even in the highlights. All right, let's go.
Chance for a three-point play. All teams in playoffs wearing masks. Reeves fires away his three-pointer, and that's good. Rattles it in. Reeves, his third three-pointer. Again, 0 for 6 in games. This time, James comes off. Randall chasing him.
Tim Jones. Because what I can see you formulating right now, Tim Jones, is a way to wiggle out of the debate as an excuse. So first, Tim Jones, I'll do you this. I'll allow you to pick 2 of the judges. You can hand pick 2 of your own judges, as long as they come on the panel, because all the judges have to be on the panel. So that way you don't wiggle out of the debate thinking that we're going to set you up with judges who just going to automatically give you an L. First of all, a lot of people on this channel already have beefs with A Johnny. So it's not like A Johnny got the most friends anyway. He didn't put spoof videos out on people. He didn't cut people up. He didn't cuss them out, kick them off the panel. So then you running around acting like at the end of the day, people want to see A Johnny lose the debate. But the one thing people do over here is they will vote fairly. I got judges who I know can vote fairly. The H30s, the True to Kings. I know people that don't have no leg in the fight. Mahari Nation in the chat. So stop trying to set it up as if you're going to have an unfair shake, trying to wiggle out of the debate. You've committed to it. There is no wiggling out. Don't wiggle out. Right? This is not no shadowy voting system. You're going to know who the judges are, and they're all going to vote fairly. And I'm the arbitrator on the panel. If I feel or sense that somebody is not voting in a clean manner, then I will override that vote and kick them up out of there. You want Africa and Mars as judges? Well, I don't have any contact information for Mars, so get Mars. I can get Africa. You really think I care who the jam judges are? Why do you think I care? If you already whining and crying about judges, I know you're going to lose. Go James Kingdom ain't said nothing about a judge. You already judge. I need this. What you need all this stuff, but you was just in the chat crying about LeBron need more help. LeBron gonna need more help, and it's not, and all you doing as soon as it's time for you to debate, you asking for more help. I need a judge. I need this. What? Not, if your logic and your basketball talk is on point, then you don't need no judges. Peter Bagjuice is always thinking it's a conspiracy. Peter Bagjuice, why don't you just get in the debate? Right? All this Jamaican basketball talk that nobody understands. Let's throw some of that into a basketball. That choke the chicken behind the back stuff. What was he saying? Yeah, what was he saying yesterday? Come on, stop it, man.
He finds the elbow, jump shot's good, rattles it in. He's 6 of 8 from the field. The Lakers, after trailing by as many as 9, come back to tie it. Edwards banks it home using his strength there, Doris. Gets inside, bank shot way too strong, but Edwards, shot blocked by James, picked up by Goodwin.
The Lakers showed us in this game that if they can get Minnesota to play half-court basketball, they will win the game. That's the biggest thing that they showed. In the half court, the Lakers actually were solid. It's just when they allowed their mistakes to turn into transition points and you allow this Minnesota team to get out in the open court, that's where you get in trouble.
LeBron the other way. Pulls up, three-pointer, puts it in. LeBron James, 16 points already. LeBron, I've told him the same thing. This is James's 209. Nice pass. His 290th playoff game. Just 4 turnovers from Minnesota. Lakers with 8. They had 6 of them in the.
Look, y'all. Again, this is like in a night for a Tove. If you look at your profile pic, what that kid is doing in the profile pic is just as dumb as your comment. That probably really is you in the picture, putting your tongue on a frozen pole, getting stuck to the damn pole. I mean, what the hell? Yeah, Rudy Gobert has a better playoff record than LeBron James over the last 4 years. What does that mean? Like, this is why I be wishing when I drop the link, y'all would come up here and explain the relevancy of anything that y'all say. As of this morning. What? Like that, I'm almost 1,000% positive that's you in the profile pic with your mouth stuck to a telephone pole. You was one of them kids. And that looks like a football helmet.
First, James knocks down the 3. His second three-pointer. He's got 20 points already.
It's more available so he can do more work in those positions.
Dončić looking for an opening. McDaniels plays him well, but Dončić, nice fake. And knocks down his second field goal. 5-point Laker lead. Randall draws the foul. Count it, 1. Randall is one of the strongest dudes.
Do y'all see what I mean? The laziness. I mean, you score.
His second field goal.
Look at this. I mean, off a missed free throw, if you're not sprinting back, this is the easy thing to do off a missed free throw. Just get back. Vandy shot the free throw. Somebody should have picked up Vandy's man for him, which it probably should have been Luka, because Luka right now is in no man's land, right? Vandy shouldn't be sprinting all the way back from after shooting a free throw to go pick up his man that's streaking down the court. That should have been Luka, and then Vandy would have picked up Luka's man. But because, again, Luka is just out of sync, out of whack, not doing anything, look at him. Vandy's now out of position, and it creates another transition and 1.
5-point Laker lead. Randall draws the foul. Count it, 1. Randall's one of the strongest dudes. Here comes Edwards the other way. McDaniels drives and slams.
Again, right here. I mean, I understand that Luka was not feeling well, but can y'all explain to me why Luka and Reeves are up playing the passing lanes as if they have the speed to recover if the guy catches the ball? It's another play right here. Just like we saw in the last play, Reeves was up contesting the passing lane, and now we have Luka, the slowest man on the court, up contesting the passing lane as opposed to just sitting back in the gap willing to contest if the guy catches and shoots.
Count it one. Randall's one of the strongest dudes. Here comes Edwards.
Like, what is Luka doing right here? Right, the first thing Luka needs to do is when this ball moves to DiVincenzo is you need to go man-to-man with McDaniels in the corner.
The other way.
But see, he catches the ball, right? So their rotations get screwed up. So right now you need Rui needs to be talking to Luka, right? Rui needs to be sprinting over to Luka, right? Because now they're just completely out of whack. Rui needs to sprint over to Luka. Austin Reeves needs to sprint up to Ant-Man. And Luka needs to sprint to McDaniel. Your rotations. We got Suge in the chat. Salute to Suge, y'all. Make sure y'all check out his channel, man. Suge, one of the OGs of FYF Sports, man. We got to get this man in the Hall of Fame. I got to make sure I get him a wrench too, man. We got to get Suge a wrench. Make sure y'all go check out Suge's channel, man. He's always cooking on something, man. You know, always cooking on something, man. I mean, single-handedly, man, has exposed Kwame Brown to the nth degree, man. It like no other, man. All the while, I mean, it's just crazy how, you know, how things started where Kwame Brown was just dissing Suge, saying he was this, and it's just like shifted because, you know, Suge has just leveled up. Now he's on the production set of Gil's Arena just doing big things, you know, Hollywood life now, Beverly Hills life now, man, big chains, all that, man. Salute to Suge, man. You know, it gave me the ultimate plug, man. You know, we got to give Suge some love. Let me make sure I give him his wrench right now while we in the chat, man. Hold on. He said there was a reason why Dallas let Luka go. No, that's not why. Look, Salt Life. Let's not pretend like Dallas trading Luka was not the dumbest trade in NBA history. Like, if you think that was a good trade, then you're an absolute idiot. Come on, y'all. I mean, the Lakers still won the trade. You know, and let's not get it twisted. Don't take one game where Luka is under the weather and he plays bad as if this is who Luka is. Because y'all have a very large sample size of Luka dismantling entire organizations over the last 5 years. The Phoenix Suns have not been the same since Luka beat the life out of them. He single-handedly had the Clippers mangled and twisted up. Last year, ran through the West and got his team to the Western Conference Finals. So while y'all do all this pretending that Luka is just some pushover, y'all make sure what you need to do is you need to hold your tongue until the Lakers actually lose this series, because don't let Luka go off and they win this series. Then y'all gonna be looking dumb, right? This is still Luka Dončić. Let me get Suge that wrench. There we go, right there. Salute to Suge in the chat, man. You know, and as I see some of the OGs, I'm gonna make sure I give y'all wrenches, man. But definitely Suge, man, is one of the OGs of the panel, man. And I, you know, like I said, Suge, man, I'm just happy, man, that the, you know, the situation that just expired, man. I'm just glad it was very, very minimum, and it wasn't as serious and significant as, you know, the reports kind of put it out there, man. So I'm just glad that that's on the up and up, and, you know, now we can move on, man. You know, and it's business as usual. Oh, let's get back to this film, though.
McDaniels drives and slams. A flying McDaniels. Always a lead on the defensive end. Reeves can't get it. James on the follow. And the foul.
Has gone 1-1.
Randall against Reeves. There's the double. Finds Edwards. That's a difficult pass. Edwards rattles home the three. James backs in. Up top to Reeves. Reeves, long three-pointer. Got it! Reeves from way downtown. His fourth three-pointer. About a 3.5-second difference. Shot clock and game clock. Good defense from Edwards. Doncic has to take a contested three and knocks it down. Luka Doncic, his first three-pointer. He's not starting here. Gabe Vincent is for the Lakers. Edwards pulls back. Sometimes he makes look scoring so easy.
Man, making tough buckets.
Jaden McDaniels.
Edwards trying to draw a foul. Gets to McDaniels. McDaniels off the bounce and banks it home. His ball handling is not. Just throws it up.
And that was the play right there I was telling y'all about, how it was a horrible closeout, right? No containing the ball, just allowing McDaniels into the paint once again. And then he gets through two lines of defense without any level of physicality.
Jaden McDaniels.
See, right here.
Edwards trying to draw a
So
foul.
Luka, again, why is he closing out like this? You're 6'8". You're not a 6'1" guard. You can contest pretty well just by staying in front with a hand up. But why he's playing off to the side like this, to me, is just crazy. I mean, just play the baseline, take a charge if he drives. Right? But then also, okay, sometimes we get blown by. Salute to Sturdy in the chat. Sometimes we get blown by. Sometimes mistakes happen, right? He overcompensated on Ant's drive. They had too many on ball. The help should have been coming from the weak side. Luka then tries to close out on McDaniels. I mean, if at worst he did a good job of running them off the three-point line, but watch the next line of defense. And this might be one of the reasons why Jackson Hayes only gets 9 minutes this game.
Gets to McDaniels.
Like, what are you doing, Jackson Hayes? You are close to 7 feet tall. Just stay down. I mean, he literally gets through 2 walls of defense. We got Brandon Katz right here. He says, Lamont never calls out Reeves. I just called out Reeves. When the highlights show Reeves fucking up, just like he fucked up earlier with the live ball turnover, multiple live ball turnovers that put the Lakers in a horrendous situation, I'll call him out. Brandon Katz, you got to listen. If just because I don't make a live stream dedicated to the Lakers need to trade Austin Reeves doesn't mean I don't criticize Austin Reeves. Keep him flicking says, stop blaming role players. I'm not blaming role players. I'm just showing y'all the film. And I'm showing y'all consistent mistakes that put the Lakers in a bad situation. That's all we're doing. This is not blame. I don't blame any particular player for a win or a loss. You know who's responsible for a win or a loss? It's the entire team. But it's a combination. The point I'm trying to get to, y'all, and this is what y'all need to understand about basketball, is that it's consistent poor decisions and mistakes over time that lead to losses. And so when I talked about earlier, when I was going through the box score, I said for the Lakers, this game was about missed free throws and turnovers, live ball turnovers at that. There were too many live ball turnovers so far. We're at 3 live ball turnovers just in the highlights that have already turned into 9 points. The Minnesota Timberwolves scored like 20 points off of live ball turnovers this game. All I'm trying to highlight is the importance of just not turning over the basketball and you win the game. Look at the ball as if it's a prize. But y'all are so hyper inflated on and it's just like I said yesterday. Y'all are so hyper-inflated on wanting to blame one individual. Blame LeBron. Blame Luka. Blame Reeves. You don't lose a game because of one player. You lose a game because the entire team can't lock in. Is LeBron included in that? Yes. Is Austin included in that? Yes. Is JJ Redick included in that? Yes. But if you all want me to sit here and pretend like these games are hinged on one player, Winning and losing the game, you're idiots. Brandon Katz, this is not about LeBron having a good game. We haven't even said nothing about LeBron scoring. What are you talking about? The Lakers lost. Why LeBron had a great game, but the Lakers lost. Why would I be sitting up here talking about LeBron having a good game? I think sometimes Brandon thinks he's on the locker room channel, where it's just ultimate glaze for everything LeBron does and blame everybody else that don't have James on the back of their jersey. Y'all got to stop being so stupid. And y'all got to stop just jumping to these oddball conclusions because you hop into a middle of a conversation that you were not listening to. Just rewind it back and listen. I have no intent on blaming one person. I never have. He said, Lamont, this is Tim. Soft mods be timing me out. Hold on, Tim. I'm about to unblock you, Tim, and I'm gonna make you a mod. My apologies, Tim. Let me do that right now. And I'm gonna drop the link and I'm gonna bring people up. But let me Tim, I'm gonna make you a mod because I don't care if you disagree and do all that stuff. I just don't want y'all timing people out just because you don't like what they say. Hold on, Tim. Let me unblock you, Tim. I'm gonna fix it. Let's see what I can do. I don't even know if you got blocked, but I'm just gonna make you a mod, Tim. Hold on, let me see. He said, Lamont is missing the point. I don't know what point you have. What is your point? LeBron doesn't fit with Luka. Hold on, Brandon Katz. I've already said, I'm not here to cry about the roster construction. This is why you need to go back and rewind. I don't care about the roster construction. I don't care if you don't think this roster fits perfectly together. I can only address what the Lakers actually have on the court. The one thing that's not going to change right now is the roster construction. There is no trade. There's no free agent signing that the Lakers can make to change LeBron not fitting with Luka. They did not lose last night because LeBron doesn't fit with Luka. They lost last night because they continuously turn the ball over and they allow turnovers to turn into transition points, mostly and ones. And they missed 7 free throws out of 20. Why would I sit here? Hold on, Brandon. Minnesota had 22 points off turnovers. You're telling me that's a lie? What are you talking about? The Lakers, outside of the turnovers, played a good enough game to win this game. As ugly as this game was for the Lakers, without all of these crazy live ball turnovers, they win the game. Even with the missed free throws, you remove those 22 points off turnovers and they win the game. He says, Anthony says, at some point we got to hold Reeves accountable too. He's not playing. Reeves played a great game yesterday. He was 5 of 11 from the 3. 20 points. The defensive mistakes that Reeves made yesterday are the same defensive mistakes that they all made. LeBron, Luka, even at times Rui. They all make, y'all act like Austin Reeves is the only one out there that makes any mistakes. The one thing I can say about Austin Reeves is that for whatever he gives up on the defensive end, he gets it back offensively. I cannot say that about Rui, who had 8 points and 3 turnovers. I can't say that about that. With Luka's production, you cannot run around with the production that he had and have an 8 assists, 5 turnover assist to turnover ratio. This is not about, I mean, if Brandon Katz, everybody on the Lakers was negative. If we go to the box score, because he says Reed was a minus 16, right? So was Luka. So was Rui was a minus 19. Bron was a -10, even though he dropped 38. Jackson Hayes was a -13. The only guy that was a plus were guys off the bench like Jordan Goodwin, Jared Vanderbilt, and Dorian Finney-Smith. Outside of that, everybody was negative. That's just point differential. What are you talking about? You say this like you say -16, like he's the only one on the team that was negative. What are you talking about? This is what GOAT James Kingdom means when y'all just run around blurting irrelevant, pointless stats to make him sound like it's an ultra negative when they absolutely mean nothing. Do you know most times when you lose a basketball game, most of your guys are going to be negative? You know that. You do know that, Brandon. What players do you know are running around plus 25 after losing a game by 12 points? Brent, answer what question? You're not. Hold on, y'all. Let's go back. Let's go back through Brandon's comments. He says the Lakers need to be playing DFS more than Reeves. Dorian Finney-Smith played 30 minutes. I don't know how much more minutes he can play. He played 30 minutes. You didn't ask a question there. Then Brandon says, Reeves is hurting the Lakers. That's a statement. That's not a question. Brandon says, Lamont, can Reeves guard Edwards, Randall, and McDaniels? Yes or no? The stupidity in how y'all look at the game is wild. When we talk about defense, y'all, defense is not about can one player guard. No, there's no player in the NBA that can guard Anthony Edwards one-on-one. I believe that Randall and McDaniels can be contained. And we talked about Reeves making mistakes on McDaniels. What did we talk about at the beginning of the highlights, y'all? When we talked about Reeves playing passing lanes on McDaniels as opposed to playing contain. What do we talk about on Julius Randle? Julius Randle, who's all effort and energy, communication and switching is going to be key to combating his physicality. And we talked about Luka, especially on that one play where Vandy was shooting a free throw. Luka didn't rotate over to pick up Vandy's man while he was shooting a free throw. Vandy has to try to sprint back to pick up his man, and Randall gets the and one on Vandy because Luka doesn't rotate over. This is just the obvious from the field. So basketball is about how you react as a team. As a team, how do we contain McDaniels, Randall, and Edwards? I think for the most part, they have been able to contain Edwards outside of a few plays, right? Edwards is just one of those guys. He's going to find a way to get his. You can expect your 22 to 27 points out of Anthony Edwards. He's just a freak athlete. He's going to score shots that are well defended. He's going to go create. He's going to make shit happen that your defense can't account for. But I think McDaniels having 30 points is something that you can contain. And when JJ Redick, just like I said, when guys are playing out of position on McDaniels and you are literally overcompensating in the passing lanes, allowing guys like McDaniels and Randall to get into the paint that often, you're not going to have a very easy night. Now, am I going to go the dumb route and say, oh, that all of that blame goes to Austin Reeves, when I can clearly watch the game and I can see that McDaniels was not scoring all of those points on Austin Reeves. Randall was not scoring all of those points on Austin Reeves. And when the Lakers get Minnesota in the half court and Minnesota isn't in some frenetic transition off a turnover, the Lakers actually do a good job of containing Minnesota Timberwolves. So the answer to your question is, can Reeves guard those three guys? Yes. But it takes a concerted team effort and discipline on the offensive end because he cannot guard those guys in transition. he can guard those guys in the half court. And the Lakers, with those 22 points in transition off of turnovers, as we can see, when Naz Reid scored the and one, he will be food in transition. But at the end of the day, he is not a player that you can take off of the court because you have no one that can account for what he gives you on the offensive end. You have to find ways to make him effective defensively. And he's shown that he can be effective defensively against this Minnesota team. If you don't turn the ball over and allow Minnesota in the transition, 22 points off turnovers would be the biggest circle on the chalkboard, because points off turnovers is something you can control. That's all we're saying. Reeves has struggled offensively all series. Reeves shot 5 of 11, scored 20 points. He might have struggled all series, but he did struggle yesterday. Y'all always talk about things that are so irrelevant. If one of your best players is struggling, what do? Do you just not play him? If there's some magical player on the bench that we can we go create a player to replace him? Y'all complain. One thing you got to do is give credit to Minnesota. As bad as Minnesota played, they made the right plays at the right time. So you have to, let's just give credit there. Ant-Man made some big shots at the end of that game when that game was tied at 103. On some of those shots, you got to shake his hand. On one of those threes, I felt like Luka could have pressed up, and he gave up that 1-3 to Ant-Man where he just kind of sat back beyond the three-point line and let him get that top of the key 3 off. He had Rui and backside help. He should have pressed up and ran him off the 3. He didn't do it. Big time mistake right there. But if y'all want me to be one of those weirdos that just blames one player, that's just not how basketball works. Salute to Muslim Mate in the chat, man. One of the top donors. Make sure Muslim Mate, I appreciate you. You came through in the super chat. Make sure to get you on that banner. Appreciate Muslim Mate, one the top donor of the last stream. Salute to Muslim Mate coming through, supporting the channel heavy. And then salute to Anthony today. He came through in the super chat today as well, the $5 super chat with his question. I got to make sure I give everybody shouts out as well. And yeah, Brandon be looking for an immediate response. Brandon, yeah, if you want immediate responses, hit the super chat, Brandon. Otherwise, we got to keep it moving. All right, let's get back to this film. I'm going to get through the rest of this film, the last portion of this film, and then I'm going to drop the link and bring people up. Yeah, nah, we'll let Brandon sit and stew a little bit. No, Brandon, see, analyzing a game, and Brandon, they are right about you, Brandon. There's a difference between breaking the game down and just complaining. I don't like to just sit there and complain about Austin Reeves. There's too much positive that he does on the court for me to sit there and complain and play the blame game on one individual. You didn't break down any film. You told us that Austin Reeves was minus 16. That's your breakdown. Grove Money said it's too easy to cook Lamont. Well, I think English and grammar classes cooked you. Learn how to spell. Hey, and Brandon Katz, if you broke down all the film, I want you to post that video and I'll watch it. All right, let's get to this fourth quarter. Get to these late game fourth quarter highlights. I'm going to drop this link. Now, what did I tell you about live ball turnovers? Live ball turnovers can turn something really good into something really bad. What we just saw right there is great of a game as LeBron James has been playing. This live ball turnover, even though he had one turnover on the night, in a late game situation where you're only down 1 point, you're on a run, but the live ball turnover now swings it, and you literally give Minnesota 3 points off of nothing. They didn't have to work for it. They didn't have to run shot clock. They didn't have to do anything special. All they did was capitalize off your mistake. So when I talk about the priority of turnovers, almost every turnover that we've seen in these highlights, y'all, have turned into points. Worse, they are and ones. This is why I say the turnovers, the live ball turnovers, will decimate you. I mean, literally, just in the highlights in and of itself. If we remove all of those live ball turnovers, the Lakers are up like 8 points right now. So this is another live ball turnover that turns into 3 points for Minnesota with 5 minutes to go in the fourth. These are things you can control. King Rose said, this is what we mean by LeBron choked down the stretch. LeBron didn't choke down the stretch. A turnover is not choking down the stretch. A turnover is just a turnover. Because you can turn the ball over, but you can in 2 seconds undo that mistake. Because when you turn the ball over, you have to now play even harder getting back on defense to undo that mistake. So it doesn't turn into this. So it doesn't turn into an and one for the other team on the other side. So again, we're at another live ball turnover. Remember, I told y'all 22 points off turnovers for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And at this point right here, y'all, as bad as the Lakers have played, with all of the turnovers, the game is tied 103. And so now that the game is essentially 0-0, all you have to do if you're the Lakers is we just have to win 4 minutes of basketball. We just, and this is something that we've seen, because once you, as bad as you play, you've essentially made the score 0-0. Just win 4 minutes. And this is what we mean right here by it's the smaller mistakes right here. So when we look at another mistake right here. So if you look at this mistake right here, I like what Rui does. Rui drops and plays this perfectly. The help guys, you got Austin Reeves in great help. You got DFS in great help. You got LeBron in really good help position. They made a mistake. And Ant-Man saw, because remember, we talked about how Minnesota is in the half court. If you defend them well in the half court, they struggle. But when you give Ant-Man an inch, he's going to take it. Now, right here, 8 seconds on the shot clock. Luka's number one emphasis, he does not need to be focused on getting blown by. He needs to focus on, we need to force him into a bad mistake, because a lot of times you can now weaponize the shot clock to help you. Late in the shot clock, we've seen Ant-Man make some bad plays. As the shot clock winds down, you don't let him be a scorer. Turn him into a playmaker. Let's watch what Luka does. He steps back. He gives Ant-Man the inch, doesn't run him off the three, knowing that you have help. You got significant help loaded up on behind you. And Anthony Edwards makes them pay. Small mistakes. Makes them pay. And then even right here, when we go to this next play. over rotate to the ball. So we got too many in the paint. And if you do send that many to the paint, everybody's hands needs to be active. You cannot let them throw a pass out like this. Anthony Edwards kicks it out to a wide open Naz Reid. And now you're really in a tough situation late game. And we all kind of know how the game ended. But at the end of the day, man, I think if you're the Lakers, you have to be looking at this saying, I like, even though we lost, you have to kind of be, the positive you can take from this is the fact that we lost the game due to things that we can control. We lost the game because of sloppiness, turnovers, missed free throws. We undo those things, we win the game. Schematically, they were good in the half court defensively. Offensively, they were good as long as they weren't being sloppy turning the ball over. Don't need to make significant changes, right? Find ways. You cannot let McDaniels have another game where he completely goes off and torches you. And he's only torching you because of mistakes, small mistakes that you could fix. I'm going to get this link ready. Bring you guys up. We could cook on this topic. Let's get this going right here. Link is going to be in the chat. Hit that link, pull up, give y'all thoughts on the game. Salute to everybody here. Salute to everybody watching from Newsbreak. Again, like I said yesterday, everybody watching from Newsbreak, I know they made a lot of changes to the interface. I know it looks different. It's fine. I don't like the new setup, but if you're having trouble with the new setup and the new features, make sure you just come over to YouTube, check us out on YouTube, subscribe, and just watch from YouTube. I think everybody kind of knows how the YouTube side of things actually works. So we can just kind of go from there. We got Trail City in the chat. Salute. We got Brad Vino, Muslim Mate. Muslim Mate says, Brandon, let people talk and get their points across. Well, the problem with Brandon is Brandon has a what we call a superiority complex, right? He complexes over his own thoughts. Once he comes up with a thought, he believes that that's the only way something can be right. And so that's the problem with Brandon right there. Like there is like his way of seeing things with regards to basketball is the only way basketball can be won or lost. Okay, the backstage is filling up. Let me get you guys up here. We got Johnny, we got Mingo Jester, we got Flow Pro. Salute to Johnny. Me pulled up first. Hey Johnny, what you got on this?
Peace and blessings. What's good, Lamont? What's good, fellas? What's happening? What's happening, man? All right, so Lamont, I like to always say in the playoffs, it really hurts you when you give up a game that you actually could have won, like, or that you had in your midst, that you actually had. That was a game that was in your midst, right? I'm not gonna say the Lakers gave up a game because that's not. They didn't have this game in their midst, right? But what's worse, I hear what you. But it wasn't like okay, yeah, they had this game. It wasn't like the Memphis game or like the game one where Detroit was up, but like what 10 minutes, like 5 minutes ago.
Okay, yeah, if you're up big and you give it away,
and you have control of the game, just like the game one, the Clippers, they were in control of the game. The Lakers weren't really in control of the game like that. It was a good game back and forth. But I do think where we can have some level of concern as those who are going for the Lakers is that we had two games where LeBron went for 38 and Luka went for 38, and they lost both those games. Mm-hmm. So I think that's something that we can have some concern about. It's only 2-1. Lakers win Game 4. It's a real good series. But another thing I was noticing was that when the Lakers use Jackson Hayes, not only does he help them on defense a little bit, but on offense. I know he makes mistakes on defense because he's always getting in foul troubles. He's always out of place to a certain degree. But on offense, he collapses the defense. He forces the defense to pay attention to him all the time when they're doing the screen and roll. So I think they need to use him because the Lakers' problem isn't really their defense; it's their offense. Like you said, these turnovers, these silly mistakes, and then when you look at when the Lakers don't have him on the floor, they can't do that 5-out offense where they're just all waiting for Luka or LeBron to just pass him the ball. Like they need to cut more. When they cut and get to the basket and help collapse that defense, it leaves players open to a certain degree. And I haven't seen them doing that. They did that in Game 2 very well. They didn't do that in Game 1, and they didn't do that here in Game 3 very well. They really relied on LeBron James a lot throughout this game. He kept them alive throughout the game. And then another thing I wanted to talk to you about was this thing about like Jackson Hayes in the minutes, because Ruri, he has these games, Lamont. He has these games where it just seems like nothing works for Ruri. He's never in the right spot. His shot's not working. He's just making silly mistakes here and there, right? Do you as a coach, do you stick with the rotations that you want to go with or in this time of the season, or do you say, okay, I'm also going to fill out who's playing well? Because he could have played Vando or Gabe Vincent, I think, a little bit more in the fourth quarter. What do you think? Because he didn't play Vando at all in the fourth quarter.
I thought the player that defensively, energy-wise, changed a lot was Goodwin. When Goodwin came in, even though he's undersized versus Randall, there was one play where Randall tried to do that quick spin baseline where he was getting by Vandy and DFS sometimes. As soon as he did it on Goodwin, Goodwin cut it off. He stopped it chest to chest, and then he made Randall turn back. And once you make him turn back the other way, he can't score going the other way. He always has to look to pass. And it's just when I saw stuff like that tells me that tells me who's locked in. So when I looked at Goodwin, I'm like, just off that one play alone, I'm like, he locked in, right? He's struggling to score. He scored in the fourth a little bit to keep things afloat, but I think the guy that kind of shifted things for him was Goodwin. Gabe could have got some more minutes. I don't know with Vandy. Vandy was up and down. I still like DFS in there. I like the Jackson Hayes getting more minutes because I'm a big believer in sometimes you got to let guys play through mistakes because they still give you value even with the mistakes. And I just think JJ kind of beats up on Hayes a little bit. As soon as he makes mistakes, he yank him. And it's like he has to play a perfect game for him to stay on the court. And so I think he gives him – I mean, that happens when you're a role player. But I just think with Hayes, you got to live with some of the mistakes a little bit more.
I hate it. I do think he needs to play Hayes a little bit more as well. That's why I said I think this one kind of fell on JJ at the end. I think they had a chance to win it at the end, and I don't think I think at the like the 6-minute mark, I was saying, okay, it's time we take Ruri out. Let's get somebody else in. And I was also wondering, what do you do in this moment? Do you continue end the game with Luka as your closer, or do you give it to LeBron? And they went with Luka, and Luka didn't seem like he was right yesterday as well. He was kind of off yesterday, but They still got it. This is going to be a 7-game series for sure. This is going 7.
I mean, I think the Lakers still, especially I think the Lakers are in the clear if they can pull off Game 4. Obviously, they're in big trouble if they lose Game 4, but I think they're in a good situation. I think it'll be like a big weight off their back if they can win Game 4, and now you're going to LA and the series is tied. Because now it's back to even playing field, and all you got to do is just kind of win out. So yeah, it could go 7, but I think if they win Game 4, they'll put a lot of pressure on this Minnesota team. But again, I just don't know what Laker team's going to come to show up Game 4. I'm going to presume that they're going to be locked in, but if they're turning the ball over like that, it's just hard to say what the result's going to be.
And one thing you won't do, LA Baller, is keep me off of Crenshaw. So you ain't got the cachet or the power to keep me off. You ain't what's that dude they talk about, Eugene? You ain't Eugene. So sit back and stay safe in the comments, young man. It's still gonna be parade on Crenshaw.
You said he not Big U. He can't keep you out.
Nah, he can't keep me out. He keep me out. I'm a working man. I'm not a part of that. What they gonna do to a civil citizen just walking the streets? I don't wear gold chains and none of that silliness. Don't be mad. I might be wearing a Heat jersey. Well, I can't wear red in that neighborhood. Can I wear red on Crenshaw? Is that possible? Can I wear black and red? Can I be from Miami?
I don't think they color bang anymore. I think it's they hat bang more than anything. It's weird in LA.
Yeah, I wear Rasta hats, so you can't fuck with me there.
Yeah, they hat bang down there. You can't wear the like certain hat.
Or I'm wearing my GJK hat. Either way, I got a pass to be on Crenshaw Boulevard in LA balling. You a fake Laker fan. Get the hell off FYF and go hang out with the motel room.
And now LA we got the Lakers are done in 6. Oh, Wally, I might take that bet if you want to take it. If we want to place a small wager on that.
Wally.
I'll place a wager on that with you, Wally. We drop the link for Wally, man. Get him up here. Oh, let me get to we got a couple other people. Mingo Jester, Flow Pro, King Row, and we got Anime. Mingo, man, what's good, man? What's your thoughts on the game, man?
Well, as I was watching the game, I think I saw the game a little different than y'all did. And what I mean by that is, first of all, y'all keep on saying Luka wasn't right. Luka, I mean, he had a tummy ache. Yeah, Luka had a tummy ache, so he couldn't play well. Okay, then. Well, we'll let that slide then. We'll let him have that.
Well, he didn't play well. I don't care why. He just didn't play well.
Yeah. And LeBron went off. He did. LeBron did his thing. He had 10 rebounds too. Or was it 10 or 6?
10
no, it was 10 rebounds and 4 assists. So he did. LeBron did his thing. You know, for a 40-year-old, he definitely balled out. But this the Lakers' problem though. And I don't. And turnovers is one of them. But I think it's because of the defense. And Johnny said it wasn't the defense. Yeah, it's definitely the defense. They on defense, if you look on defense, they hunting Luka. Believe it or not, they hunting Luka. Whoever Luka is guarding, that's who they get a ball to. And Luka was guarding Jaden McDaniels. Jaden McDaniels had 30 points last night. 30 points last night. Jaden McDaniels had 30 points last night. And 24 of those 30 points was in the paint.
No, 15 of his points were transition.
Yes, but 24 of those was in the paint.
Listen to what I'm saying. Because even in the half court,
let me finish what I'm saying. Hold on a minute. So he had 30 points. 24 of those 30 points was in the paint. Jaden McDaniels.
What on Luka though?
Yeah, but that's Luka, man. That's who Luka was guarding.
No, it wasn't. They were in zone most of the night. They didn't really have a man.
But that mostly who Luka was. They hunt Luka. Basically, what I'm saying on offense. Whoever Luka on, that's who they going after.
So what did that have to do with the turnovers? So you saying the turnovers is not the problem? It was
no. I said that's a part of it. I did say that's a part of it. You ain't listening.
No, I know because you said something about it's not because I said it was. I don't think the defense was bad. I don't think the Lakers played bad defense.
Man, the Lakers defense was atrocious, and once it got tied 103, I don't know what happened to the Lakers defense. Anthony
Edwards made a couple of good shots, and they had a couple of bad turnovers too.
Yes, they did. I keep saying the turnovers was a part of it. It was. I'm not denying the turnovers. The turnovers definitely was a part of it. But what I'm saying is their defense wasn't good. Once they tied the game up, their defense looked like it went in the toilet. I don't know what happened.
But they didn't score after that. They scored 1 point after. That's what I'm saying. So how can you blame their defense if their offense only gave them 1 point?
Because how can I blame their defense? Because Minnesota had 116. I could blame their defense.
Yeah, but I only had 104. I only scored 1 point.
Yes, but Minnesota had 116. Just as well as the Lakers not scoring, Minnesota are scoring. So what is that?
Yeah.
Hello?
I think
that's the Lakers offense.
Mingo.
The Lakers got to score.
Okay.
I thought she was going to talk about the Minnesota defense. That's what I thought she was going to talk about.
No. I'm talking about the Lakers defense.
Hold on 1 second, Mingo. My thing is this right here. Okay, if you want to look to the last 4 minutes of the game and say, this is what I like to do is I like to look at what led up to this game even being tied at 103 with 4 minutes left. Like when I look at the mistakes that led up to the fourth quarter where the game was tied 103. When I look at the first, second, and third quarter, and I'm looking at all the live ball turnovers that turned into and ones. Austin Reeves, live ball turnover, turned into an and one layup for Julius Randle. Vanderbilt in the fourth quarter gets the rebound. They get to stop in the half court, but he lets Nickeil Alexander-Walker come up to him, slap the ball away. He dimes it off to Julius Randle, another and one layup, another turnover in the and one. We can go. There were so many turnovers, like 6 of them that turned into and one layups. They scored 22 points in transition off of the turnovers. What I'm saying is, if you go back and look at the Lakers' half-court defense, their half-court defense for the most part was solid. Like, I don't know where you were seeing. It wasn't like Jaden McDaniel was just getting the ball in ISO saying, oh, I got Luka on me, I'm going to cook him, like the Lakers were targeting Rudy and Mike Conley. What all McDaniels was doing was saying, oh, you're out of place, I'm going to drive, like in the first quarter. When Austin Reeves was out of place playing the passing lane, they get McDaniels the ball. Because McDaniels is out of place, because Reeves is out of place, he just drives into the lane and scores a layup. There was another play where McDaniels is in the corner. DiVincenzo just throws him the ball. Luka's out of place, so he just says, okay, I'm just going to drive in and score a layup. These are breakdowns, but for me to sit here and say that and act like he scored all 30 on Luka, one, they were in zone most of the night. They were just having breakdowns out of the zone. And those breakdowns weren't significant enough for me to say that's why they lost the game. They lost the game because they just kept turning the ball over and allowed the turnovers to turn into points in transition.
And that was a part of it. That's what I keep saying. Yes, those turnovers definitely was a part of it. But let's add the rest of it to it, is all I'm saying. And that was that they wasn't playing defense like they was playing the game too.
Yeah. But
the
you're
defense
not
they
going to
played the
hold
game
a team
too.
to 0 points. Like sometimes y'all think
I'm
about
not
defense,
saying
like,
hold a deep.
So
That ain't
all I'm saying is points off turnovers is additional shots you otherwise would never have gotten. And they're very easy shots. If you take away the turnovers, like let's just do this. This is how if we remove all of the turnovers, and let's say we turn the 16 turnovers into 4 turnovers, that means we take away at least 14 points. Who wins the game if you just take away turnovers?
I don't know.
What about the free throws we miss?
That's what I said. 7 free throws. If you just make it's basketball is very simple. Miss free throws and turnovers. That's what lost you the game. It's not rocket science. You don't need to come back with a new lineup, new roster, none of this stuff. You could have won the game. It was very obvious. You shoot yourself in the foot. When it's called self-inflicted wounds. Of course, you can't account for Ant-Man knocking down dagger threes. Okay, you have to live with that. But when you shoot yourself in the foot because you turn the ball over and you allow it to be points in transition for the other team, you're killing yourself.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like I keep saying, yes, I agree with everything you just said. But their defense wasn't good either. Yes, the
It was
turnovers
good in
matter.
the half court.
But you said it was running zone majority of the game. Well, if that's true, then and Ant-Man instead of killing them on the outside, don't you think they should adjust that and run this and get in something else?
Because this is an NBA. Ant-Man is going to get his 25 to 27 points. And no matter you just have to try to make it inefficient. But Ant-Man is already a proven guy where we know even if you play good defense, as he showed last night, he gonna make tough shots. That's just he just that dude. What you cannot give up is Jaden McDaniel scoring 30 with 15 of those points coming in transition. A lot of those in the points he scored in the half court just came off of simple breakdowns of guys just not being in the right place. I showed a play where Julius Randle scored 2 points because Rui's just standing in help doing jumping jacks. What the hell are you doing, Rui? Just go get up on the ball and trap Ant-Man. And
well,
so
I'm just gonna say this, and you can go on to the next person. Any type of game where Jaden McDaniel is scoring 30 points, you're not gonna win. You can go on to the next person.
and the Lakers didn't win.
Exactly. That's my point.
And when you let Jaden McDaniel score 15 points in transition, you're not gonna win. Because if you take away his 15 in transition, if you don't turn the ball over, you probably win the game. We got Flow Pro. What's good, Flow Pro?
What's up, man? Man, I mean, the turnover is my first problem. The free throws, they was hunting Luka, man. But when Luka in the first half, Luka was like he was feeling worse. You could tell because he wasn't even running out for threes or nothing. And he was playing more terrible in the first quarter than he was in the last part. But man, I don't know what we gonna do because we lacking the athleticism. That's one part. That's why Jadam scored all them points because he was going around all our players running to him. As soon as they run out, he just run around them, get a layup, and one.
So that notion about them
And them careless.
has become antiquated.
And on our rebounds, they jump over our head and like tap the ball back. Let's take our rebounds too. Who was that? Somebody on the right, but
Go ahead, I got it. It's JB.
But-
He has some stuff going on in the background.
but. So what you think about the athleticism against them? Our athleticism, like that seems like our biggest problem.
I mean, again, that's a roster issue. There's nothing I can do over the next 2 days to make people more athletic, right? You can. There are ways. This Memphis team is a 6 seed.
Yeah,
For a
I'm saying
reason. They're a 6 seed because they have flaws in their team too. Like as much as everybody wants to talk about the Lakers' flaws, let's not act like Minnesota ain't extremely flawed as well.
Yeah, I know.
They're flawed too. Their flaws are even more glaring than the Lakers. It's just that when the Lakers get on these streaks of making a whole bunch of mistakes, they allow those mistakes. They let their mistakes turn into, what it blows up and a steal turns into a 3-point play on the other end. That's from getting bad to worse every time. I get it. Sometimes you might give up a steal. Don't let it turn into a 3-point play. I mean, if anything, just stop the play and foul the guy. But don't let it turn into a 3-point play. That's what I'm talking about.
Minnesota feed off transition and 3-point plays.
LA Ballin says the Wolves have a better roster. If you think the Wolves have a better roster than the Lakers, you are completely smoking all types of crack, man. Like the things that y'all say. I mean, I get that y'all don't like some of the players on this Laker team. Y'all don't like Reed. Y'all don't like some of these players. But and on top of that, you got LeBron and Luka. Let's just start there.
JJ not playing them though. He's not playing Hayes. He's not playing Braylon. I mean,
it don't matter. Like it's not. This is not about somebody not playing or playing. The Lakers, with the guys that played, the Lakers, if you don't turn the ball over, you win the game. These are things you can control. If you don't have 5 turnovers in the first quarter, you win the game. Like, these are controllable things. Like, y'all try to make it seem like it's about, oh, you sub this guy in and this could be a super fix. No, it's not going to be a fix.
But most of the
gave in, it doesn't take away all these turnovers that are happening.
Most of the turnovers
gave himself
were
that
careless,
turnovers. Like, I mean, this is not about subbing and ride, and it's not complicated. Like, you talking about they have a more athletic roster. All right. And if Minnesota completely fumbles this series away and loses, then what is it going to be? Did they choke?
I think our advantage in them is they do a lot of careless stuff, and that's why our games stay close. They are real careless. They are a careless team.
He says, "Dog, give any blame to JJ Redick. The entire team lost. Everybody takes a little bit of blame." Hold on, we got King Rowe. What's good, man?
What's going on, Lamont? So yeah, I agree with you on a lot of things, right? Especially when it comes to the Lakers, because you got a lot of guys are looking for that one guy to blame, and you never blame one guy. So a lot of times we will disagree on some things, but we'll agree on the fundamental points, right? Mm-hmm. It's not one guy. But what you just said about Minnesota's roster, and I asked Johnny this last night, did y'all really give Minnesota their proper scouting? Did y'all realize that Minnesota finished 18-4 this season? Since March 1st, since Brandel came back from his groin injury, they went 18-4. So they were heating up into the playoffs. Minnesota got a good top to bottom roster. They have a defensive anchor, which we all can see with Rudy. And I said this many times in the chat that Jaden McDaniel can guard anybody on the Lakers one-on-one, respectively. Of course, Luka will get his money, but Luka will work for that 38 or whatever he gets on Jaden McDaniels. So that's a big key. My boy JB just dropped. He just pulled up, but he dropped me a graphic that said that the Wolves are shooting 71.9 effective field goal percentage on catch and shoot. Now, what I'm saying is, if the Wolves had a consistent point guard, this series would be over because that's a great stat. Naz Reid is shooting 90% effective field goal percentage. He make, when Naz Reid got hot in game 1 and he got hot in game 3. That's because he's a great catch and shoot big man. So, even Randall was hitting his catch and shoot shots. So that's one of the things
let me ask somebody in the chat one question, King Bro.
Sure.
If anybody that thinks Minnesota has a better roster, let's just bet on let's bet on game 4. LA balling. I'll take LA in game 4. You can have Minnesota, the team with the better roster, at home. I'll take LA on the road in Minnesota. What's the bet you want to make? Since we got Laker fans that want to claim that Minnesota has the better roster, right? They're a better team. What do you want to bet on game 4? LA balling. Since you know your team so well, since they gonna fold and choke it away, how much you willing to bet on the Minnesota Timberwolves for game 4? Because that's gonna tell me how much you really believe in them being the better team. That's for anybody that claims
this is the
Minnesota.
NBA.
Let's just do this. Since we got so many people in here claiming Minnesota the better team, I'm gonna give you Minnesota at home. Come on the panel, LA Ballin'. Come on. I love taking Laker fans' money. I love it when Laker fans bet against their old team like retards. Come on up here. I love it. I know y'all in the locker room remember all too well how I made the ultimate $500 bet and won because y'all Laker fans are so delusional. Come on, keep on betting against your own team. Come on, I'm gonna take your money. Come on up here. We can set the bet.
But why can't they just be realistic?
I mean, if you really think Minnesota got the better roster, I'm gonna give you
top to bottom. Yes, they do.
Home. They don't. Y'all are smoking crack. Man, what are y'all talking about?
I'm thinking you don't understand that DiVincenzo is a money player. I'm thinking you don't understand that Jaden McDaniels is the guy you can put on the island. And
do you think what do you think of? You think I just don't know basketball or something?
I do, okay. But I think you're not giving them credit.
Who's the best player in the series?
The best player in the series is Luka.
Who's the second best player in the series?
I would say Ant-Man because he plays both ways.
Okay. Who's the third best player in the series?
Maybe it's LeBron.
Who's the fourth best player in the series?
No. Wait. Is it LeBron or not? Don't say maybe. Is it LeBron
I said
or
LeBron.
not?
I said
okay,
LeBron.
There you go. You said maybe. You said maybe. You scared me.
Depending on how much effort he gives you on defense. But you got it.
So is it Randall or is it LeBron? Who's better?
No, it's LeBron.
Okay, so don't say maybe.
It's a reason why they can only. It's a reason why they barely play 7 guys.
I will say this. Randall is playing slightly better than LeBron in the series.
You must be smoking, man. What the
crazy?
LeBron's get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck.
What are you talking about?
LeBron had one good game. See, this is what we're talking about.
LeBron played playing defense the whole series, man.
All right. Look, I gave it to LeBron.
Man, that is wild.
I gave it to LeBron. Let's go. Let's keep going. Fourth is Randall.
Hold on. I'm gonna come back to that. We got anime, manga, and we got JB and we got Handy in here.
I just want to chime in for a second, please. Can I chime in for a second?
Yeah, go ahead real quick. Go ahead, JB.
Okay, real quick. I just want to. I'm gonna give a synopsis here, and I'm a Laker fan, and this whole experience has been to me has been a nightmare, and I'm gonna break this down. And I'm gonna say my piece because this is my first time really participating on this, so I ain't gonna try to hog it. What fans got to realize is, just basketball fans in general, the gig been up for the Lakers since the bubble, and I'm gonna tell you why. When you continue to siphon off your own talent, when you continue to flip over the roster every year, like they've been doing,
oh my God,
where it's been over 100. Literally over 100 player acquisitions since all this started. What's going to wind up happening is to keep this thing going, this win now. To me, it's more like a charade than actually trying to compete. Because what's happening is you have to rely on all outside players.
We know this, man.
Now listen, whoa. Let me finish. I'm gonna let y'all have it. Let me finish. Because I've been watching this whole thing. Since
roster construction is not nothing.
No, you haven't. Because Lamont said from the top. Lamont said we're not here to talk about the roster. Lamont said that from the beginning. He said that from the beginning. So if you heard that, you would not be talking about the roster.
I'm talking about in the grand scheme of things, gentlemen.
We're not talking about the grand scheme. We don't want to talk about rosters.
Okay,
you see was the landscape at the NBA. These teams out here that are at the top of the conference, the OKCs, the Houston Rockets, the T-Wolves that went to the conference finals
Lakers were
last year.
third.
Well, time out. I'm telling you what the problem with the Lakers are having.
weren't
It
the
goes
top of the
beyond.
conference.
It goes beyond this year. I hear the same
Lakers beat
conversation
all
every
those
year.
teams, man.
By the beginning of the season, the pattern is, oh, they got the roster, they got the depth, they got this, they got that.
Nobody said that about this Lakers team.
This is the pattern. This is the pattern.
No, it's not.
2 months in, what they'll say is, oh, they see a chink in the armor, then the panic starts to rise, and then by trade deadline, we got to make a trade. This guy got to go. They not stepping up to the table. They don't have this. They not feeling they end of the bargain. They make this trade. Then there's an initial
Laker
rush.
fan
There's an
alert.
initial rush.
Fake
Listen,
Laker fan alert. Fake Laker fan alert. Fake Laker fan
This ain't about
alert.
me being a Laker fan.
James.
This is about what's
Fake-
going on in the
Fake Laker
NBA.
fan alert.
Hold on, y'all. Hold
No,
on, y'all.
this ain't
Hold on.
about
JB,
me
hold
being a
on one
Laker
second.
fan.
JB, hold on one second. JB, you got to hold on one second. Are you telling me if you're the GM of the Lakers and the Dallas GM comes knocking on your door, you're not shopping anybody? The Lakers weren't in no significant trade market to trade anybody. And Dallas comes knocking on your door out of pure randomness. We want to offer you Luka Dončić for Anthony Davis and Max Christie. What GM with a brain cell doesn't abandon any plans that you have? You ditch any plans that you might have for Anthony Davis and you throw it all in the garbage can. Come on with the trade. I don't care what this team looked like. I don't care, because there was no trade talk around the Lakers going into the trade deadline. There was none of this, because the one thing we knew is the Lakers were tapped out in resources. There were no trades. The only way they could have made a trade is if they traded LeBron or Anthony Davis. Me and Johnny talked about this. That was the only way they make a significant change to this roster. And you are acting like that the Lakers actually had a choice in the matter when Luka Dončić gets offered to you. You don't sit around and ask questions when you get Luka Dončić offered to you. Hell yeah, we'll figure the rest of that shit out later. We'll figure the roster and all that bullshit out in a couple years. Give me Luka Dončić. This is the future. So they went into the playoffs knowing, yeah, we got Luka, that helps. Is the roster perfect? Nobody thought this roster was perfect. But nobody was complaining other than weirdos. We need a center. We need this, that. At the end of the day, they tried to get a center. The trade fell through for whatever reason. They tried to make the roster better, but at the end of the day, to be at the third seed, the way the team has proved defensively, even with the flaws, enter the playoffs, make the best run you potentially can with this team. We'll see what it looks like next year. I didn't hear this large swarm of Laker fans or even people surrounding the Lakers talking about we need this, we need that. No.
That's because y'all delusional.
So what I'm saying is, I didn't see these delusions of grandeur around the Lakers. I don't know what circles you hang around, even amongst Laker fans who I feel are delusional most of the time. I think they knew very well what they got. I think they knew the deficiencies of Luka Dončić, but they also knew the positives that come with bringing in a Luka Dončić. And this game was a game where I felt, even though the Lakers played bad, it was still a winnable game. I cannot talk about roster construction or what they coulda, shoulda, woulda done at the trade deadline, and if they could have stopped making moves back in a long time ago. The roster is what it is. I don't care. I don't care how the roster got here. I just like to look at what do you have versus what they have, what went wrong versus what they did well. That's all we care about.
But Lamar, we were going down the roster, right?
No,
we was at the fourth best player. I give you LeBron as third.
No, hold on, King Rowe. I don't want to. We can do the roster stuff later. I'm not trying to go down this list of because even at the end of the day, it's not NBA 2K. We can go player for player for player. Who's the better team? I believe the Lakers are the better team, no matter how you slice it. If you guys want to glaze all over Minnesota, I'll be glad to take y'all money in a bet for Game 4. So if you are so hyped up on this Minnesota team, especially if you're a Laker fan, if like LA Ballin, if you don't trust JJ, like you're saying in the chat, if you think Minnesota's the better team, come on this panel, tell me how much you want to bet. We can set the bet for game 4. Because the one thing I love is betting delusional Laker fans money, right? I already made one of the subscribers on Locker Room Channel disappear from the ether because he paid $500 and he was never to be seen again. Be the next one. If y'all want to keep coming with these dumb takes about roster, when you can clearly look to see if the Lakers don't turn over the basketball, they win the game. Y'all acting like this Minnesota team is an unstoppable juggernaut. They making Minnesota either. They make more mistakes than LA.
They're flawed, very flawed. Like I said, if they had a point guard with that catch and shoot percentage, they'd be killing it.
I'll give you, even with this great catch and shoot percentage, the Lakers still could have won the game if they don't turn the ball over.
But the Lakers are turnover prone. See, that's the thing.
My God, man.
They're not turnover prone.
Hold on. Unforced
Luka had a lot of turnovers, so does LeBron. Also, Reed had a lot of turnovers.
Listen to what
LeBron
I'm saying.
had 1 turnover that game.
What I'm saying
on the season, guy.
All I'm saying is
the playoffs.
The one thing you can control turnovers by valuing the possession. Don't be as reckless. There are certain possessions where I feel when Luka drives, he jumps off 2 feet, he commits to bad passes. All you have to do is say, I'm going to have a concerted effort of valuing the possession, not turning the ball over. If you don't turn the ball over, the Lakers win the game. That's all I'm saying. This is not about put this guy in and you need to stop him. Just don't turn the ball over and you win the game. I mean, it's simple. This is not rocket science. But y'all like, again, y'all want to say all of these problems exist because I feel like a lot of y'all want to put the blame on somebody. You want to blame the GM. You want to blame LeBron. You want to blame Luka. When really this was a concerted team loss. The team lost this game because they were all turning the ball over. They were all making
I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. I said, it's not one, but I just think y'all overconfident.
King Rowe, my thing is this. I'm not a Laker fan.
I know that.
Not like y'all know overconfident. I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm just telling you what I saw in the game. I saw Minnesota not play a very good game versus the Lakers, who played
and still won.
And the Lakers played horrible. And as bad as the Lakers played, they still could have easily won this game if they just don't turn the ball over. On the road in Minnesota. With all the great shooting, Minnesota, if you have to bank on McDaniels dropping 30 for you to beat the Lakers, you really think that I'm going to say that team is better? They have to, not only do they have to bank on guys like Jaden McDaniel dropping 30 to even have a chance. And
that's a bad take, though.
And the Lakers turning the ball over like no other. So what do you think is more easy to replicate? The Lakers just not turning the ball over, or Jaden McDaniels dropping another 30? What do you think will happen? What do you think is going to happen again first?
It's like Jaden McDaniels is the guy who can do that if given opportunity, and he's doing that over Ant-Man.
Hold on, King Rowe. In the 2 wins that Minnesota has, Jaden McDaniels has played out of his mind. So again, do you think they can keep replicating this with Jaden McDaniel? Do you think he can have another 30-point explosion? Because if it takes him damn near dropping 30 just to have a chance to beat the Lakers, I don't think they can win the series if that is required.
It's not required, though, Lamar. He can get 20 and they can win another game. And I'm saying, like, he was hot last night, of course. But you had like that they needed every single point. Nas Reed is the one that put the game away.
Who do you feel is the better team? Nas Reed scored 11 points.
I feel Minnesota. I've done. You can look at it. You can come to my channel, look at my preview before the series.
It's all right here. So, how much you want to bet on Game 4? You got the advantage.
I'm not. You know what? I don't play that because NBA. Next thing you know, all the Wolves will get in foul trouble like they was in Game 2. I don't trust the NBA. So
they're gonna turn the magnets on again. They're gonna turn the magnets on.
No, I'm not even doing magnet ball. Even though LeBron was looking like prime Steph right that one sequence. And here's the other point I want to make. Lamar, here's the other point I want to make
is that they do not have a starting center on the roster.
That's
They don't even have, they
one.
don't even have
But
a
Lamont,
legitimate
y'all
backup
only got
center on the team.
104 one
They have
game.
no
Y'all
center.
scored under 100 the first
Hold
two
on, let
games.
JB go. Let JB go.
No, I'm saying
Go
what
ahead.
I'm saying is no. This is historically, no matter what era somebody talking about, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, even the 2010s.
Okay, they
No
don't have a
team.
center. What
No,
are they supposed to do about it?
I'm saying I'm going by history and the eye test and logic and common sense. No team has won a championship. What I haven't, I ain't talking about a superstar.
We're just talking
center.
about
I'm
winning
talking
a
about a
first round
legitimate.
playoff series.
This team don't have a legitimate starting center. They don't
Okay,
even have a
so-
backup starting center.
So
There's
JB,
no way in the world that this team
we
is
know
going
that they
to.
don't have a center.
Do
Are
you
they
know?
supposed to just? Are the Lakers just supposed to shell up and say, "Damn, we don't have a center. This series is over.
But
We're not going to play."
what I'm
What
saying is, what I'm
So, hold
saying
on.
is,
Hold on.
both
What
teams
do the Lakers-
playing
Hold on,
their
JB, let me
maximum
ask you this
effort.
question. Hold on. The fact that they don't have a center, there's nothing they can do about it. That's why I said we can't talk about roster because there's no trade, there's no signing that they can do to magically.
But wait a minute, though. Whoa.
No, there's no. Hold on. What you need to be telling me is two things I want you to explain. How, if you are a Laker fan, which I don't believe you are since you got Zubac on your logo, which is wild. But at the end of the day, I need you to tell me since they don't have a center, what they can do to circumvent that basketball-wise, because no team is perfect, or what does Minnesota do to be better to complete this series because they still have to face LeBron and Luka, and they have to win 2 more games before this is over. We got to talk about either how one team is going to win, talk about what can be fixed, what you want to see going forward. But for me to sit here and talk about what the Lakers don't have, you know, the easiest thing in the world is to look at the roster and say, damn, the Lakers don't have a starting quality center. Who the fuck cares? They're 3rd seed in the West without a starting quality center. So at the end of the day, they've been getting by just fine, kind of without one.
Okay, but look, Lamont.
What is talking about not having a center? How is that productive basketball talk? That's just complaining about a roster that you can't change.
Okay, but taking the center off for some.
King Rowe, it's on JB.
Go ahead.
I'm just not in the complaining about what you don't have. I don't really care.
See, I want to make a point about Minnesota.
I'm gonna let y'all have it, fellas.
But the Lakers scoring total is 94, 95, and 104.
It's on JB. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna let you see.
It's the Lakers' offense again. You just proved it, King Speech Road. The Lakers' offense is struggling.
But that's also Minnesota's defense.
But y'all not talking about Minnesota's defense. Y'all not talking about Minnesota. You talking about Jaden McDaniels and all this other nonsense. Go ahead, JB.
My point is this: if people would listen to like if a fan of the Miami Heat broke down the dynamic of their team, I'm gonna listen to them. I'm not gonna act like that I know more. If a fan of the Detroit Pistons, if they say, "Oh man, this is why we playing good this year," blase, I'm gonna listen to them, man. I'm not gonna sit there and try to bogart or take over their history. What I'm trying to tell you is the moves that they've been making over these past 7 years. They have traded for 3 superstars in 6 years. That's unprecedented in the history of professional basketball. If this was really a successful venture over these past 7 years, they would have to be making these moves. Of course, you're gonna tweak the lineup on a yearly basis. Even if you win a championship, you may draft a player or you may tweak it. That's normal. What I'm saying is, what this franchise done with this past 7 years, it's unprecedented. And what I'm saying is, it's led to what's going on right now. There's nowhere in the world with all the moves that they've made, they should have a legitimate center. But when you trade your future center away, like we did 6 years ago, it's showing. So what I'm saying is, when you go up against a team like Minnesota, who has a good defense, at some point it's going to show. And the main reason why Minnesota is up 2-1 in this series, because me personally, I felt the Minnesota just like last year with Denver, the hype. Oh, Denver, Lakers gonna beat Denver. Lakers gonna do that. The fact of the matter is, the teams that have been building up step by step, year by year, they have more chemistry, they have more cohesion, and I believe at the end of the day, they have more confidence because they didn't try to preempt the natural process of building. You go back in the history of the game. I don't care what team you're a fan of. You go back in the history of the game, you look at all these long-standing teams, these championship teams, they started literally from the bottom and worked their way up. The Bulls did over 7 years. The Pistons did over 8 years. Akeem Olajuwon, Houston Rockets, that was a 10-year process. The Denver Nuggets, that was a 7-8 year process. Golden State Warriors started in 2009 with Steph Curry. That was a 6-7 year process. What I'm saying is this win now stuff, and it ain't just the Lakers that's been doing it. The Phoenix Suns are done. Philadelphia 76ers are done. With these, just look at the league, what's going on. These teams are they study these teams, they throw all these children middle of the table, giving up all these young players, giving up 8, 9 draft picks a wop. You may get one out the deal. You may get one out the deal, but you're gonna lose more than you win. It's documented. We said it. So what I'm saying is the Oklahoma City Thunder 4 years ago, they was winning 22, 23, 24 games. They done won 68 games. So what I'm saying is
JB. Talk about game 4. You talking about OKC, all this other stuff. I don't care about what the Lakers could have, should have, would have done. If I was the GM, there was a million things I would have done differently. I don't care about that. The Lakers are the 3 seed in the playoffs versus the Timberwolves. What can or can't they do to win this series, or what can Minnesota do to finish off this series? All of this other stuff is just you crying about what the Lakers, the moves they made that you don't like. I don't like that they let Dwight Howard go. I mean, I don't like a lot of stuff, but I can't control none of it.
Or Zubac.
I mean, Jesus Christ, man, the moves were made. Magic Johnson is the one that sent Zubac to the Clippers. How do we go undo that? Do we go smack Magic and say you shouldn't have done? Like, what do we do to you have to be in win now mode. There's too much money. There's money to be made being in win now mode. I mean, first of all, we complain about teams not trying to win and fight. Then we have somebody complaining saying teams are too in win now mode too much. I've never heard this. Like, the logic now is confusing me. Now we got too many teams trying to win, too many teams trying to get better. And then now there's a natural process on how to win. Like, we haven't seen teams from the 70s, 80s, 90s to the 2000s completely just put together super teams and go win. Right? We didn't hear this nonsense. We didn't hear this nonsense when Philly traded, when Philly got Moses Malone and won on an unorganic process. We didn't say this when Houston was a 6 seed and they went and traded for Clyde Drexler in an inorganic process to go win another championship. We didn't say none of this stuff when the Boston Celtics put together their big 3 inorganic fashion to win a championship. We didn't say it was inorganic then, but all of a sudden, when the Lakers, who are just trying to win basketball games, make moves because they're trying to win, all of a sudden it's not organic. They're supposed to go through this 19-year period of losing before they get better. What? Who does this stuff, man?
But Lamont,
what are you talking about?
Lamont, if there's a natural process to win a championship and that's the successful way, why is somebody doing it the unsuccessful way? Why are they? That doesn't make no sense. So obviously, building a team to win a championship, it includes going out there and getting other players. Well, I never heard I never heard this nonsense before in my life. I don't understand where people get this stuff from. As if Scottie Pippen wasn't traded for. As if the Bulls weren't losing forever, that you can get good draft picks, just like the Warriors losing early. You rather lose? Like, you rather have Zubac than Anthony Davis? And now y'all mad at me because I said Anthony Davis is should be gone for Luka Dončić? Like, this is crazy.
Shadur Sanders.
They drafted him? He finally got drafted?
Cleveland got Shadur. I told y'all Cleveland was gonna get Shadur. I told you Deshaun Watson is a complete bum.
He went to a bad franchise though. Oh my God.
And that's nasty work that he got picked that low. That is the nastiest thing I've ever seen.
That is super nasty work.
That's
super
nasty work.
Hey, man.
Why, Lamont? Explain to us, Lamont. I want to hear this. Let me hear this, Lamont. Go ahead.
Look, man. Sometimes, bro, like sometimes the NBA, I mean, not the NBA, but the NFL will reality check the shit out of you, man.
Lamont.
And hold on.
Go ahead.
All I'm saying is I saw Shadur play at Colorado. I seen it all, but all I said was this. Because if y'all so process oriented and y'all talk about what a process after when you go into the draft is, you have to now essentially interview for these teams. You got to go work out for these teams. There's certain criteria that they want to see in their quarterback in these workouts. They want to know who you are. They want to know your mentality. They want to know how you answer certain questions about how the offense breaks down in X, Y, and Z. They want to know if you mesh with the coach and his philosophies and his lingo. If you're not having these interviews and these workouts with these teams, why the hell would you expect any of them to invest millions and millions of dollars in you? And so that's the funny thing about it is, to me, is just like when you that cocky, you go into the draft talking about, I'm doing workouts on my terms and I'm setting up this workout here. This is where you can go. And now at the end of the day, they said bump that. We're gonna go with the other guy that actually came in here. So again, I know he's talented.
I think he got slandered though. He was.
I don't care about the slander. That's just part of the process. But
I figured he was gonna wind up in Cleveland. But
if you want to go high in the draft, you got to be a part of that whole process. You can't be running around acting like you the irrefutable top 5 pick, and they gonna draft me anyway, like he Cooper Flag type talent or some shit like that. No,
I think they just didn't scout him properly.
It already happened. At the end of the day, we don't have to think anymore.
I agree with you, Lamont, and that's why I don't watch the
disagree
NFL.
with him.
And that's why
no matter what you disagree with.
Lamont's right.
Yes,
no, Lamont's right. No. Mingo Jester. No. Mingo Jester. He is right. It is the NFL, and I've been telling you about this. That's why I've been stopped watching the NFL. It's the shield over everything.
Yes.
And they basically sent a message to Shadur and anyone like him coming out of college.
Well,
and
that's
why I'm done with him. I'm done with him.
Place for him.
They need a quarterback.
The NFL is a hypocrite. They drafted 2 quarterbacks.
The NFL are hypocrites. That's what they are.
Well, the NFL are a bunch of plantation owners. That's what they are. Y'all need to stop watching that. Y'all need to stop watching the NFL.
That's the case, man. We may as well start watching everything then. If we're going to go that route, just shut it. Baseball, football,
I don't know about that.
Shut it all down.
Basketball players have more of a say-so to be themselves, to be who they are.
It's for anybody that feels so in their feelings about Shadur getting drafted.
Wait a minute.
First of all, why do y'all think he's so special that he don't have to participate in the process? That he don't have to participate in the combine? No, I know a lot of players don't do it, but what a lot of players are is they more for sure of where they're gonna get drafted.
But see, he a quarterback too. That's the most high profile position.
Quarterback is the most important position on the football.
Mel Kiper thought he was the #1 quarterback.
I don't care what Mel Kiper thought. If you don't go into those front offices, if you don't go sit down and talk with the head coach and the GM, if you don't get in front of those guys and make certain throws that they want to see that are going to cater and be conducive to their offense, why the hell, if you so cocky that I'm so good that I don't have to participate in the process, why the hell would they pick you?
That's an excuse.
Well, let me finish with this. And I'm gonna watch NBA
why y'all
for the
getting
rest of
mad
the
at me? The NFL has shown over time.
Man, they're some hypocrites is what they is.
They will not capitulate.
Ain't nobody caring about that. That's some hypocrites.
It don't matter. Hold on, Mister. The NFL has showed y'all time and time again that they will not capitulate to you. You're gonna have to bend and fold to how we move. And you run around trying to play big dog, and I'm not doing work out here and this, that, and the other. Well, they said, well, you know what? We don't want you.
Okay, then. So,
hold on.
So you telling me? Hold on now. So you telling me?
This has nothing to do with white or black. This has something.
It has everything to do with white or black.
No, it's not. You're dumb. I don't want to hear no racial shit. Take your dumb ass to the workouts, and you probably would have went in the first round.
Well, fellas, let me end it with this because I have to. Let me end it with this, gentlemen. All I want to say is this.
Hold on one second.
When the Lakers,
hold on. This is the biggest thing is, y'all. NBA, all this stuff right here. I want one of y'all. I want any of y'all in the chat. I want Mingo Jester. I want you to quit your job now, right? And I want you to call up the next company, and I want you to say, hey, I was the best at my last company. I want y'all to hire me and then hang up. I want to see all of this stuff about not having to really participate in the process, which in the NFL, which is essentially the interview process. All of a sudden, the interview process don't mean nothing when it comes to Shadur, just because he's Shadur. That's because different. No, it ain't different. It is
different. It is different. They got film on him. That other company don't have film on me working at my other job.
Y'all, Mingo just,
It's different, bro. It's totally different. That's
NFL,
Gentlemen, if I can just make my last little.
Hold on one second. No. Hold on one second. Have y'all seen when these quarterbacks sit during some of these sessions? And these rookie quarterbacks are sitting there talking to their head coach. Have y'all heard the questions that they throw at these quarterbacks? They'll be asking the quarterback a whole bunch of football mumbo jumbo, jumbo left, right, X, Z. Where you throwing the ball? They trying to test your IQ. They trying to see what you know. They trying. Obviously, the film can lie to you to a lot, especially when they want to know your mind. They want to know how you get down. So at the end of the day, if you're not willing to go in and interact with these people so that they know who they bringing in, why the hell is you mad because you dropped? You didn't even want to participate in the process.
So Lamont, let me get this straight. So let me get this straight. So you just told me and you literally just said the film lie. So why do we watch film?
I didn't say the film lie. I said in football, with the quarterback being literally the most important position on your team, this guy makes the most money, even if he's a scrub. What I'm saying is they have to know that you are completely in cohesion with the front office, with the GM, with the head coach, with the offensive coordinator. And if you ain't taking your dumb ass in there to talk to any of them, and they don't know if you're on the same page with them, why the hell they gonna sit there and draft you if you've been too cocky to even? Man, come on, man. Y'all act like and then y'all want to say, oh, it's because he's black. 99% of the motherfuckers that got drafted was black, and y'all want to tell me he didn't get drafted.
It's different though, because prime time is his daddy. Prime time ain't their daddy.
Okay, tell me this: why did Cam Ward go number 1 overall? He black.
Coach Prime is not his daddy. Did you not just hear me? Coach Prime is not his daddy. Coach Prime is Shadur daddy.
Hey, Lamont, Cam Ward is the only quarterback I put over them. The other guys that got drafted over Shadur is not better than him.
And then another thing, another thing. Lamont talking about it ain't about black and white and all this. So you telling me that Baker Mayfield, we saw it on camera. Everybody was looking at it. Everybody in 4K was looking at it. He can run from the police, get arrested, and do all this, and still go first round, first pick. But quote unquote, Shadur ain't go ahead and do a few interviews, and he dropped all the way to 4th.
Yeah, that's why he should have took
make that make sense.
No, he dropped the 5th.
Well, 5th. Make that make sense.
That's why he should have took his dumb ass in there and did them interviews.
But yet Baker Mayfield can get arrested and do all this on camera. On camera.
I don't care. They want to know what your mind is.
You know, I don't think it's the interviews. I think he just dropped.
That's nasty work, bro. Y'all can't justify this. That's nasty work.
Before the NFL draft even started, it was reports that got leaked out said Shadur probably gonna drop. And when y'all didn't believe it, that motherfucker dropped.
I believed it.
Yeah, because he dropped. So the reports
he dropped on some BS.
So it's funny how somebody knew he was gonna drop because the reports got leaked. Shadur might drop. He dropped.
He dropped on some BS, man.
A lot of teams don't need quarterbacks though.
He dropped on some BS. You ain't telling me Jackson Dart, Gabriel, all these guys better than Shadur.
We can check all these Shadur believers. You want to bet on the Cleveland Browns' first 5 games next year?
Stop it.
Shador not going to start though. Like
you ain't telling me with a straight face that Jackson Dart, that dude Gabriel, all these dudes is better than Shador.
I don't know none of them.
Ain't no way. Come on, bro. Stop it.
You can make a $50 bet on the Cleveland Browns' first 5 games.
How about
Shador got picked first round? He ain't starting.
How about you bet them Shador rise to the top if he rises to the top of the starting?
Well, of course he's gonna start. They got Deshaun Watson. Of course
he's not starting, man. He's a 5th round pick. He ain't starting.
No, he's not.
He's gonna start.
Deshaun is hurt, so he might not come into like the middle of the year.
Definitely gonna start this. They're gonna definitely start Shador. He's gonna win this.
No,
they got Dylan ahead of him. They drafted him ahead.
Man, Shador gonna win the starting job. I believe he's good enough to win the starting job. So let's bet some Cleveland Brown football now, since he a game changer.
That's nasty work what they did to him.
No, it's not, man. He did it to himself.
Cleveland is a talented team, man.
But that's what they do.
If he really
look. Trim Duncan says I'm not hating on Shador. What I'm saying is like I say, it's just like basketball. When the obvious is sitting right in front of your face, don't act like we didn't see this. Somebody knew it was coming because he didn't participate in the workouts. It was somebody out there telling everybody, Shadur gonna drop. He didn't participate in the workouts, and they was letting y'all know. And then all of a sudden he dropped.
Go along,
And
get
all of a
along.
sudden, now all of a sudden when he dropped, after somebody told y'all he gonna drop because he's not participating in the workouts, and then he actually dropped. And it's racist. No, take your dumb ass to the workout.
Like that boy Kawami said, go along, get along.
They looking for athletic.
At the end of the day, he did not have a good enough college career to where we could say, "Oh yeah, you were definitely a lock at the top."
Lamont, you lying again. You're lying again.
They looking for.
You're lying again. How in the world did somebody? Hold on, my guy. Hold on. How didn't?
Hold on. I'm not an idiot. I watched Colorado play. When Colorado played the heavy hitters, Shadur folded. This is a fact. So at the end of the day, I don't care. No, why you keep saying at the end of the day? Hold on 1 second, Flo, bro. All I'm saying is, no, Colorado. Every game was nationally televised. Whenever they went up against a heavy hitter, they folded like a bad bag of dope. They folded like a motherfucker. When he went up against the toughest teams in the country, did he show up? Did he show out? Or did he fold like a bad bag of dope? He folded every time. Did he?
All right.
When he played Oregon, what happened when he played Oregon? They folded his ass up, right? Every time he played against a team that actually could come with some pressure and there wasn't going to be no slouches, they folded his ass up.
Okay. Now, so look at this. So Shadur was sacked like over 70 something times. That's by far the most in the NCAA.
I'm not saying
that's by far the most in the NCAA.
I'm not saying Shadur's not good. All I'm saying is, hold on, let's not act like a lot of those sacks weren't. Some of those sacks weren't on Shadur holding the ball too goddamn long.
Man, his offensive line just wasn't good, Lamont.
No, Shadur, there were a lot of sacks that happened because Shadur was unwilling to move out of the pocket. How many times did we see Shadur just standing there, looking? He didn't hit his check downs. How many times did we see Shadur not hit check downs, not throw the ball away, and sit there take unnecessary sacks when he didn't have to? But see, y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all
Let me ask you this question, Lamont.
No,
did Colorado get better with Shadur?
Hold on. I'm saying I know Shadur is a good quarterback. But if y'all running around here acting like he was a bona fide lock in the top 5 and he's just better than all these other guys.
No.
One, he still has flaws. He has flaws in this game. There had questions about his arm strength.
Cam hold that ball too long.
Hold on 1 second, Flo Pro. They had questions about his arm strength, which is one of the reasons why they wanted to bring him in and have him throw. He didn't want to throw for teams, even though there was questions about his arm strength, right? Everybody knows he's an accurate quarterback, right? But they also knows that if he's going to get drafted to a bad team, like teams in the top of the draft, you're probably not going to have the greatest offensive line. Are you going to be able to, get out the pocket? Are you going to be able to be smart and hit checkdowns and not just take sacks? Are you going to be able to throw the ball away? At Colorado, the one thing he showed that is if he has a bad offensive line, he's not going to be able to hit checkdowns. He's going to stand in the pocket too long. He is not fast enough to run outside of the pocket. He's slow than a motherfucker, and he's going to take a ton of sacks, which at the NFL level means your ass is about to be injured like a motherfucker.
He was good enough to go first or second round, Lamont.
Did he go first or second round?
No, but he didn't. But he was good enough.
Did he go first or second round? So at the end of the day, it ain't on me. If you don't take your ass to the workouts, don't be begging to go first or second round.
I think he's gonna be all right, but eventually.
I didn't say he's not gonna be a good player. What I'm saying is everybody's harping on, he should have went into the first round. Guys that go into the first round don't skip workouts. Cam Ward, what did he take his ass and do? He took his ass to the goddamn workouts. What are we talking about here, man? Like we acting like he didn't play a role in himself getting dropped. He played his own role in his demise.
I don't think that's why he dropped. I think it was the bad things you said, like he ain't mobile. His arm right there scrawled. That's why he dropped.
At the end of the day, man, like all these teams kept passing on him. Like, do y'all think it was by accident? Come on, man. Like these teams aren't dumb.
Most of these teams didn't need quarterbacks, though.
Man, come on, man. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but he definitely is not the greatest thing since sliced bread. He has flaws.
No. But he still should have went first or second round.
No, he didn't, but he's not. He's a fifth. He went fifth because he's a fifth round player.
I tell you one thing, he better than all them quarterbacks got drafted before him outside of Cam Ward. I tell you that.
And I don't like the slander against Deshaun Watson, Lamont. That's wild.
Deshaun
Thank you,
got
J
hurt.
Mac. Thank you, J Mac.
Deshaun
You have
got
to
hurt.
go to the workouts, man.
Man, they pick and choose. I bet all them guys don't go to them workouts,
A
and
lot
they
of teams,
still
a
get
lot of
drafted
players
high.
do that.
Man, get out of here with that. Don't give me that.
Man, you done had quarterbacks to tell teams don't draft me or I ain't coming.
Yeah, I ain't gonna play, and they still get drafted. Man, I
And
don't
they
want to hear
still get
that. That's
drafted.
nonsense. Bro, stop it.
And Shadur
Nonsense.
was not that good to make demands like that.
Yes, he
I didn't
was.
say he was.
Lamont,
But you have
hold
plans to
on.
do
Wait a
it.
minute. Let's go back. Lamont.
Shadur was not that good to be making
Shadur
demands
got
like I'm not
offensive
going to do
player
no
of the
work.
year. How is he not that good?
Bro,
I'm gonna say that again. He got offensive player of
when
the
you're talking
year.
about going
How
into
is
the
he not
NFL,
that good?
when you talk about going into the NFL,
Mm-mm.
there are a whole bunch of red flags on this game on how they're going to translate to the NFL. He has a lot of good stuff, but he also has some red flags. So
a player that got offensive player of the year is not that good.
No, but
what am I missing here?
Hold on, but why you keep trying to frame it as this? I'm saying he's not a good player.
That's what you keep saying. He had a lot of flaws. He was just not that good player.
Hold on. Mingo. There's a difference between saying he has flaws and should have went to the workouts, right? To maybe answer some of the doubts or questions that they have.
He didn't go to none?
Hey, Lamont, I don't think y'all can judge him properly because he never had a run game and he never had a good offensive line.
He didn't go to no interviews? He didn't do none of that?
No, man.
Wow.
Hold on. What did he do? Well, tell me one that he did. Tell me.
I'm asking. I don't know.
He went to New York.
There you go. Yeah, he went to the one with New York.
Then he went to Oakland. So he went to a couple interviews.
That's what I'm saying. I know something wrong somewhere.
And Oakland and New York passed on him. Because remember, he's the one that said he is the one that said, I'll play for any team. If you play for any team, then take all the workouts, take all of the interviews.
Well, Lamont, the same thing almost happened to Jaden Daniels. New York passed on him too.
Yeah, no.
Well, we see how that turned out. Jaden Daniels is a monster. We see how that turned out.
I mean, New York did a whole bunch of dumb stuff, man. I mean, like this is more than just that. I mean, they did a whole, but they let the running back go. They did all types of dumb shit. So
I want to see what Travis Hunter gonna do with the Jaguars.
No, I don't want to. I don't care about football that much. I don't even want to talk about football. But
anyway, back to the basketball side of things.
Back to basketball though.
Yeah. So now with game four come on Sunday, y'all
What
said.
you think about them fresh?
Yeah, if game 4 come on Sunday, y'all said. So Lamont, if you're a JJ Redick, I'm just gonna put you in JJ Redick seat. If you're a JJ Redick, what adjustments would you make for game 4 Sunday?
Nothing.
So you'll do the same thing you did in game 3?
I'm not making any significant adjustments because from what I saw, schematically was working. They only shot themselves in the foot. They literally killed themselves.
At the end of the game.
So it's self-inflicted turnovers because I feel like turnovers, especially the live ball turnovers, were all self-inflicted. Rushing, putting yourself in bad situations, jumping off 2 feet, committing the bad passes. All I'm saying is if you just undo the turnovers, you have a significant advantage versus this Minnesota team. That's all I'm saying. And so you obviously you want to emphasize making free throws, which again, that could be with LeBron and some of these guys who have to shoot free throws. The only one that's reliable really is Reeves. But to turnovers, to me, you cannot allow them to score 22 points off turnovers. That's shooting yourself in the foot. And you undo that. Your defense in the half court was good. Your offense in the half court was good. Make them play your pace like you did in game 2 where it was low scoring, ugly game, and they got to play a slowed down game and they're not getting all these opportunities to score, and you will win the game just like they did in game 2.
Hey,
Make the game ugly and boring. Slow it down. Do not let these dudes get to flying in transition, and you'll win.
Okay, so what should the Wolves do to win game 4?
Hold on, though. I want to ask Lamont about.
Well, the Wolves got to find a way to keep the Lakers sped up. When you got Reeves clearly showed when you speed him up, he's turnover prone and will do some dumb shit. Luka, if Luka's not 100%, we'll speed his ass up, make him play fast. And don't be afraid of the one-on-one matchup with Gobert. Really, I mean, shit, if Luka wants to keep ISO and Gobert, tell ISO, you got to put confidence in Gobert. Say, we got your back.
He let Gobert take his ball.
We just need you to do X, Y, and Z on defense. We got your back. Invite that matchup, because what you do when Luka starts to go one-on-one is he's not playmaking. Just like in game 1 when Luka only had 1 assist. Force Luka to be an ISO player. Let him go ISO all he wants. Just don't let the other guys get off. And I think you'll be fine. Salute to Muslim Made with a 99-cent super chat. Salute to Muslim Made, always coming through to support the channel. But we got Spiffy up here. We got George up here. So let me get to Spiff. Let me get to Spiff real quick. Spiff, what you think about that Laker game?
Hold on. Give me a second.
Let me go to George.
Well, on my point of view is that the Lakers always choke in the last 2 to 3 minutes of the game with LeBron shooting bricks. That's just me talking. Don't get mad.
What is he talking about?
The Wolves can beat them. The key to the Wolves beating the Lakers is Julius Randle. That's the key to them beating them. All we need is for Naz Reid and Vincenzo is to play a minimal game. And the Wolves shouldn't have no problems in beating them.
What bricks did LeBron shoot?
In the last 2 minutes?
No, he only missed that one shot and missed that layup. Them were 2 shots he missed. And that shot he got after Luka held the ball to the last second. He threw it to LeBron. He just tossed up a 3.
But that's the way they play, though.
Nah, that ain't the way he's supposed to play.
That's the way they play.
Nah, Luka don't normally do that.
LeBron took 1 shot in the last 4 minutes of the game, which was that 1 3-pointer.
He only took 1 shot?
Yeah, 1.
Yeah, sir.
So you're telling me within the last 4 minutes he only took 1 shot, and he was the main scorer out there.
What about the bricks?
Yeah. He led the Lakers and everybody in fourth quarter points. But yeah, in the last 4 minutes, the Lakers didn't score. The Lakers only got one.
They gave the ball to Luka. They gave the ball to Luka, and Luka the one that was missing those shots. Overpass.
That's why that's why I said I keep hearing everybody keep talking about me and the Lakers defense, this, that, and the third. They're only giving up 106 points per game, which is not a lot. Their offense has been the problem, to be honest with you. They've had some bad offensive nights especially from some key players like Ruri and Ruri. First of all, Ruri and DFS and Gabe Vincent hasn't given you those 15-point games, those double-digit games yet. You have to hope one of them could do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the key thing. You're getting that from Naz Reid. You're getting that from those players. You got a good game from the white Dante yesterday. He showed up yesterday. So that's really the issue. The Lakers' offense has not been as good as it should be, and it's because Minnesota is really a good defensive team as well. But I think they need to put Jackson Hayes on the floor more, which would force Minnesota to have to crash a little bit more in the paint. And then from there, they'll have more open 3-pointers, because that's really the Lakers' issue. They got to just get their open 3s and hit them.
Yeah, they be pressing up on Luka and Reeves, testing their dribble skills. They be poking that ball, making it hard for them to get the ball up the court and everything. So they be testing their dribbling skills. And Luka been getting this ball took right out of his hand, like he a kid or something. Oh, but it's crazy.
Yeah, like Lamont
that's
said.
That's what I mean. They got to speed them up.
Turnovers,
so when they're pressing, the only reason why you get up on Reeves is you got to, like I said, they're trying to speed them up to make mistakes. Reeves is prone to mistake. Like when you let Reeves get to his shake and bake and you're just kind of sitting back, letting him do his thing, he'll cook you. But when Jaden McDaniels is up there pressing him at the half court, they need to stop giving him the ball when letting him cross half court with the ball. They're just sending pressure and he's turning the ball over. So
they did that because of Luka having a hard time.
The nightmare, I think Johnny was right. The nightmare scenario for the Wolves is LeBron on point, because LeBron at the top of the key was picking them apart, whether it was with the pass or just downhill scoring. That A to B, that vertical attack, they can't defend it.
Yeah, even
because they're respecting the shooting too much. So because they're respecting the shooting so much, that's why Brown was able to just literally get downhill without any impediment. So I think more so than Luka, I would say get Luka off.
Yep.
Put LeBron, but if you put LeBron on ball, you have to worry about burning him out. We saw what happened with Denver when you put Brown on the ball too much and he burnt out in the third. So.
But I think you can afford to do it now because you got Luka.
Yeah, but
So
hopefully
there is
Luka
no more
feels
2-day
better.
rest games, right? There is no more 2-day rest games. Each game is day after day, right?
I think LeBron needs
I
to
don't
be on the
know.
ball. I think that'll change everything. You
Not
put
for the
LeBron on
first
ball.
round. For the first round, depending on the schedule, you might still find a 2-day rest game here and there because of the way the schedule goes for the week, depending on the games that are available. Because there's so many playoff games. But by the time we get to the second round, though, you're right about that, George. There's gonna be no more. Once they get to that 4, 5, 6, 7 game, it's gonna be back to back, 1 day off in between.
I just really don't think we should lose to Minnesota, even with they having more athleticism and everything. We're just a smarter team than them. They do a lot of dumb stuff. We just ain't been punishing them for it. We a better team than them. They just
Yeah. Yeah, if you look at the last 5 minutes of the game, and the Lakers got outscored, I believe it was 10-2 in this particular 13-2 in this particular part of the game, which is why they lost the game. LeBron only took one shot. Austin Reeves took one shot. They were both 3-pointers. They missed those. Luka hit had one shot. He made that one basket. He was the only one to score. Hachimura had 3 field goals. He was 0 for 2 from the 3-point line and 0 for 3 from the field in the last 5 minutes of the game.
This might not be popular. I don't think Luka should have played this game.
I think they should have took Rudy off. When like I said, I noticed that mid fourth quarter he was just out of balance, and I think right there that's where he could have brought in the Gabe Vincent maybe or the Vando, for defensive purposes and just to get a good scrappy player out there. But I think that's why I asked you that, Lamont. Do you just stick with your team? Do you stick with the guys you trust? Your closing lineup.
And Lamont,
the game is close. The game is there. You just got to execute. You see what I'm saying?
I think you got to. I mean, you don't have much wiggle room with this Laker team. It's not like you got a whole bunch of crazy options. It's like you got to trust that Hachimura can just be better, which I think he can be better offensively and defensively. You got to try to get. I think DFS. I mean, I like what he's doing. Maybe a little bit more aggressive offensively. But I just don't see a whole bunch of tweaks that need to be made. I mean, just stop turning the goddamn ball over. Like, Minnesota is a 6 seed for a reason. They struggled all year for
Luka
a
was
reason.
struggling offensively. That was kind of killed me though. He was struggling offensively, like getting the ball up.
Yeah, but the Lakers have been winning even when LeBron struggles offensively. When LeBron hasn't been on 1,000 offensively, they've still found ways to win. Just because Luka's struggling offensively and LeBron's doing much better don't mean you just shell up the game and lose.
But LeBron,
the games don't always go the way that you want them to. But when control what you can control. You can't control makes or misses, but you can control how you value the basketball and not turning the ball over. But when you're turning the ball over like that, I just don't know what you expect the team to do. I don't know how you can expect to have a realistic chance of winning the game when you give up 22 points off of turnovers and you're just literally live ball after turnover and one layup and one layup and one layup, and y'all act like that's not why they lost. Like,
but Luka didn't have no energy, man. So I don't think he should.
Don't matter. Don't take energy to hold on to the ball. Luka late game when you got Rudy Gobert in the 1-on-1. You don't let Rudy Gobert poke the ball away and it turns into a layup. When you're running in transition, you don't just give up in transition and give Jaden McDaniels a power dunk that gets the crowd going. Right? There's certain things that you just
he shouldn't have been playing. He shouldn't have been on the court.
It don't matter. But even with him playing, he was still good. Like he wasn't Luka, but he wasn't completely horrible.
He was terrible.
Luka had a 16 points, I think 8 or 9 assists.
He was terrible the first half.
If you undo Luka's turnovers, if you undo Reeves' turnovers, they win the game. Y'all keep missing or making the shots. You can't control that.
Luka was
you can
sick.
control turnovers.
Most of that stuff Luka was doing wrong because he was sick.
No, it's not, man. No, it's not.
Other than the defense.
Because when Luka made the fall away three, two crazy fall away threes, he made them motherfuckers. Like you can't give me the sick excuse when you running around knocking down clutch fall away threes on Anthony Edwards. Don't give me that shit. That if you can knock down a clutch fadeaway three, then you can value the ball and not turn it over.
I just don't think he should have been on the court.
Yeah, I think it was a turnover. Was Lamont? I ain't gonna lie,
bro. The turnovers, like you can't just I don't know what world y'all live in where turnovers is just like it's not that big a deal. I mean, shit. I mean, at some point in time, you just got to address the obvious. It's the turnovers. It's not about trades. It's not about Jackson Hayes at center. You turn the goddamn ball over, and all of them bitches was turning into and ones.
Yeah, especially that one when Rudy Gobert poked the ball from Luka at the top of the key. That was crazy.
That was nasty, right? Like, and then
There was one Rudy dribbled the ball off somebody's leg trying to put the ball on the floor instead of shooting the three. Like, what are you doing?
Or when Vandy
Rudy?
got the rebound, they poked it away, and Julius Randle got the and one.
That was weird right there.
Remember when Anthony Edwards poked the ball away from Luka, then got the power dunk on the baseline?
I don't know how DFS gives up the baseline. How you give up the baseline, DFS?
How
you run him? Yeah, how you run him to the 3-point line and just let him go right past you? Like that was crazy.
Because it was a scramble, because it was a steal, and everything's out of whack on these steals.
And then dude got crossed up by what is that, Devin Pacheco, whatever his name. That was crazy.
No, but even that shot that DiVincenzo made, I can live with that. I cannot live with the poke the ball away, I score on the turnover. If the guy makes a tough shot over DFS, okay. I bet he ain't going to beat us making them tough shots. DiVincenzo's not going to beat you taking 10, 12 of them tough threes.
He a good 3-point shooter now, though.
Yeah, but if DiVincenzo takes 10 contested threes, he's not going to beat you. You know, I'll live with that. He made a tough shot, got the crowd going, but it was the turnover, the power dunks off the turnovers that was getting you rocked, and it had the crowd in the game too much.
Yeah, they feed off transition and 3-point shooters. The drive.
Hold on, look at Peter Backjuice. He said it was crazy seeing Edwards matchup hunt. They was not matchup hunting LeBron. What are you talking about?
He did not match.
Look, Peter Backjuice literally sees Anthony Edwards scoring LeBron one time. And now he's matchup hunting LeBron, man.
Nobody has never do that.
That's how thirsty they are to just
nobody has
bad about LeBron. He's just thirsty. Oh, who in their right mind is running around matchup hunting LeBron? LeBron was the best defensive player for the Lakers yesterday.
The whole series, he had like 2 blocks.
Jesus Christ, man. Y'all just be saying anything. Matchup hunting LeBron.
Kwame be saying that same dumb stuff.
Now he's saying it's a joke. Nah, you not joking, Peter Backjuice.
And when Anthony,
so hold on, what's y'all picks for tomorrow? What you got? Oh, hold on. This is what we're gonna do actually right here. I'm gonna see if y'all really know basketball. All right. Let me see if y'all really know basketball. I'm gonna put y'all to the test. Because we need some sensible basketball minds. And I might even ask Peter Backjuice to help with this.
Hey Lamont, you know how many points LeBron James gave up yesterday as a defender?
Probably not that many. Probably like 8.
6 points.
let them tell it. He gets ISO.
The guys who he was guarding yesterday in the yesterday's game shot 3 for 15 yesterday versus LeBron James. Had 2 assists and 1 turnover.
Man, it's wild, man.
What's happening, Lamont?
What up, Mahari?
Man, I just came out of my nap, bro, and I already had to hear about the Shadur nonsense, man. So I'm glad you guys moved on from that topic. Thank God, bro. But let me say this about the game too. I think that when it comes to the Lakers, I think that they self-sabotage themselves on 2 different things. It's when they turn the ball over and they don't get back on defense. And last night in watching the game, particularly after they tied, particularly in the second half, is when I saw most of their issues. Even though the game was close, it felt like Minnesota was in control of the game, most of it, because the Lakers were just not fluent offensively. Even though LeBron was scoring efficiently, they just created their own mistakes by just turning the ball over, and most of it was basically self-inflicted turnovers. It wasn't like that Minnesota was creating the turnovers. I mean, some of it was. But most of it was just basically the Lakers doing it to themselves. And I think that what's going to have to happen in Game 4 is obviously that Luka is going to be pretty much close to 100% by tomorrow. But Luka is going to have to be – I would want him to be around 25 points and about 10 assists.
Okay, hold on. I'm glad you said that right there. Hold on. Let me put this screen up.
Give Minnesota credit.
Because I
am.
I want to see if y'all know basketball. We're about to really test y'all. because I need y'all to help me pick a winning Underdog fantasy lineup, man. Salute to Underdog Fantasy. I'm gonna make sure I show that code. I'm gonna make sure you share Gilbert Arenas' code for Underdog Fantasy. We're gonna play a little Underdog Fantasy because we're gonna talk about because we're not even gonna do the Lakers. We're gonna talk about we might even do we might incorporate some of the Lakers picks for tomorrow. But let's see how well y'all know basketball.
Yeah,
now, I don't want to pick anything from a game that's already started. So we're just gonna go with the OKC Memphis game that's at 12:30 today. We'll go down. We might even incorporate some stuff from the Lakers game. Let me see if that's on here for tomorrow. Might be. Oh, here it is right here. All right, so let's pick some of these. Mahari. Because we gotta pick 7 different choices. We're gonna know 8 different choices. So Mahari.
Sure.
What player do you think you can best project?
I say Luka Dončić will have a better chance of bouncing back.
Okay, so out of these projections for Luka, do you have him? Which one do you feel confident in? Over under 28 points, over under 7.5 assists, over under 8.5 rebounds. The ones that I've been hitting on are first quarter points. Right here, they got Luka scoring 10 points in the first quarter.
Oh, that's given.
I don't think he scored 10 in the first.
Nah, I don't think so.
If he's not 6, he's gonna score 10.
I don't think he's scoring 10 in the first.
Yeah, the average is 15, like 16, right?
Not in the first.
He's talking about first quarter scoring. I would say a little lower, not by much though, but I say lower for first quarter scoring.
I mean, scoring 10 points in the first quarter is a lot.
It is. Yep.
Especially after LeBron just showed he's the matchup problem. They play better when LeBron.
But you think they're gonna put the ball in LeBron's hands though?
I don't know.
They'll be making me mad.
I'm gonna go with Luka under 10 points in the first quarter, but that's my pick. I need a pick from y'all, man. What do y'all got? I need something from y'all.
Get Austin over 20. I think he does go over 20.
Oh hell no, bro. Austin, no, I can't bank on that.
I gotta go lower on Austin Reeves. I can't see him go over 20 in game 4.
I mean, we can.
I can't see that.
They're gonna be aggressive.
So you got Austin under 22. Or you got Austin under 23 points.
I would say under 22.5 to 23. So I would say a little lower.
That's a good bit.
Yep.
22.
Let me go to Anthony.
LeBron's gonna have more than 5.5 assists, Lamont.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
As far as
go ahead, hey Johnny.
LeBron, you got Bron over more than 5.5 assists?
Yeah, I can see LeBron getting 6 assists tomorrow.
Not if Luka holding the ball.
Bro, that
doesn't matter
right there.
Not if Luka holding the ball.
If the Lakers want to win,
is he even averaging 6 assists this series?
Yeah. No, I think he's averaging 4.5. Hold on, wait. Let me go double check.
Luka is holding the ball. He's not going to get 6 assists.
LeBron's averaging 4.7 assists per game.
You think he gets 6? I mean, is in this series, what's he averaging so far?
4.7. He's averaging 4.7.
That's hard.
He got a total of 14 assists, Lamont. So I mean, come on, Lamont. He got to get at least 6, Lamont. 6.
Bro, it sounds easy, but it's not as easy.
I know it's not, Lamont. No. I'm not saying it's easy.
I'm thinking about it like this. If the Lakers win,
if it was easy, they wouldn't put it up there.
If the Lakers win, they have to slow the pace. In a slower pace, less assists.
Well, hold on. How many assists he had in game 2? You were talking about game 2.
I don't think Ant-Man gonna get 6 rebounds.
In game 2, in that slow pace, LeBron James had 7 assists, Lamont.
Oh, so the slower pace might favor LeBron.
Yeah, he
You know
had
what?
7.
But
He
you know
had
what,
7.
Johnny? You might be on to something.
Just 6. I think he can get at least 6. 6.
Okay,
That sounds right.
Okay, we're gonna rock with it. We're gonna rock with that.
Okay.
All right. Let's go. Do we got any picks? We can go with any team, anything. We can go with games from today. I mean, I even like some of the games today, right? Because I think that
I think LeBron get more than 23 points.
no, but you can't pick the same player twice. So they already picked LeBron's assist, so we can't pick LeBron again.
I read that under 23. But, yeah.
Can I say this? Let me say this about Shadur Alexander. I have him scoring more than 30 points in the closeout game against the Memphis Grizzlies. I have him over 30. I do think that Shai's going to have one of his better playoff performances in closing out the series.
The points for him is the 31.5. Do you have?
I would say I have him over 33. 33.
I don't trust it. I think it's going to be a blowout. I think Memphis is going to give up. I think Memphis without Ja Morant. We saw how they look for 2 quarters without Ja Morant. You really think Ja going to be playing in the 4th quarter?
Nah, listen. Is it a hip pointer?
Well, Ja is out, man. Ja is out. Ja done.
Yeah, it's out. I would say it would be a blowout. I agree.
16 too.
Hold on. Peter Bagju says that's a good bet. Shai due for a big game. Yeah, but I don't like games that could be blowouts because the starters will sit. And
well, we know how Shai can get hot real fast. So we know how Shai can get hot real fast. He can go on a 12-point to 15-point quarters without even trying.
If Memphis would have won game 3, I would have said yeah. But Memphis without Ja Morant are dumpster juice. They are horrible.
Yeah, I agree.
This game is not going to be close, man.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's your opinion. But I think he'll bust out for more than 33.
All right, Mahari, you know what, Mahari? All right,
what's
Mahari,
up?
we're gonna rock with you, Mahari.
There you go.
I go to Alexander, man. Even though this is a crazy ass ticket right here, where y'all gonna have all types of red flags, that's all right.
Well, if you know what though, man, if I'm wrong,
no, we locked it in.
I want you to stay with it, but I'm saying. If I'm wrong, then guess what? You can come. I will be back here. You can say that I'm wrong. You can clown me for my pick. I'm cool with that.
Here's a good one right here. Jaren Jackson. I got Jaren Jackson under 22 points.
That I could see.
Under 23 points.
Listen, the thing with Jaren Jackson Jr. is that his shot selection is just crap to me. Like he's not that aggressive, and more importantly, he takes bad shots. It just drives me nuts when I watch it.
Anyway, the game just started, so they won't let me select that one. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. We got Denver in the Clipper. I like this one right here. Let's see. What's the parlays on Kawhi Leonard? Let me see. Oh, Jimmy Butler is playing too. Okay, Kawhi Leonard over 25 points.
I don't know about that, Lamont.
Oh, he been dropping 30 balls on them, man. He been
I know it, but they really don't have nobody to guard him. Julian Swathers has not been doing his job.
I mean, Denver don't got nobody that can slow down playoff Kawhi. I mean, playoff Kawhi is one of the top 5 greatest playoff performers of this generation. The guy turns it up.
So you don't know about Julian Swathers?
I like this one right here. James Harden under 8 points in the first quarter.
I could see that. That could be possible.
I like that one.
Maybe. I could see that.
Bro, 8 points in the
first quarter. And to answer your question, that Johnny, no, I don't know who that guy is.
Because you got to think, 8 points to start the game, like you're on your way to scoring, having a 35-point game. He hasn't had one of those in a minute.
Oh, hey, Lamont, that didn't age well, boy. Lowe came on here swearing that they had a bunch of great defenders.
Bro, Christian Braun and Julian Swather.
He was saying Christian Braun, Julian Swathers.
Man, I said, who is Julian Swather, man? Like, what the hell?
I don't know how to say the kid's name. What does it matter? The kid sucks. He ain't a good defender.
Hayden Watson. I said, man, hell no. Get them dudes up out of here, man.
Talking about Rudy's horrible. Talking about Rudy. No, these are so funny, man. Oh my god. So all right. So what we got? Well, what's the other ones you got, Lamont? What you picked? What 3 already?
I like this one. Steph Curry over 6 points. Does he score 6 points or more in the first quarter?
Oh, I don't know. He usually starts slow.
I maybe, but the thing is, he is a slow starter. He typically tries to see how the game progresses.
But they are at home, so it might just be.
And they're down in the series too.
True, that's true. I could see Curry going off to a hot start in the first quarter.
I don't know. Y'all didn't sound too sure about that one. Y'all didn't sound too sure about that.
Yeah, no, because Curry has his moments, man. Curry has his moments.
Okay. Let's avoid.
He has his moments. Right.
Let me see. Let's see if we can find another one that's pretty crazy.
Curry going to the fourth quarter with 6 points to end the game with 26.
Okay, so no, that's tomorrow. I want to do something for today's games. Dylan Brooks, under 13 points.
Damn, Dylan Brooks tonight. Oh man, I don't know. I think for him, if they're gonna win, which I think they are, he's gonna score more than 13. So,
you think Houston's gonna win in Golden State?
Yeah. Yeah, I like Ime Udoka, man. I like the way he coaches, man. I like the way he processes things. I like.
So you basically got Dylan Brooks outscoring Fred VanVleet.
What they got Fred VanVleet at?
They got him at 12.5.
Him too? Oh man. I don't know, man. Dylan Brooks could hit 3 3-pointers. That's 9 points though.
Or Jimmy Butler under 5 points in the first quarter.
Ooh, I'll take
coming off
that.
the hip injury.
Yeah, I don't think he's out there to score tonight. I think he's just out there for motivational purposes.
Okay, so but hold on. Here's the crazy thing. They got Jimmy Butler favored to score more. I don't think he scores more than 5 points in the first. I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it too. I agree with you. I don't think he's going to be a factor offensively. I don't think they're going to be using him offensively like that. So I don't think he's going to get his.
He does get to the free throw line though, like a motherfucker.
Yeah, get to the free throw line. What, 3 times in the first quarter? You gonna give him the ball with a contusion tailbone?
All right, let's go there. I like that one. Okay, we got Jimmy Butler under 5 points in the first.
Those be the killer ones though. That first quarter, second quarter, third.
Bro, if I showed you some of the ones where I got screwed over because of motherfucking Al Horford so bad, and fucking Ben Simmons, man. I'm gonna show y'all too.
I think it was the other night. My brother called me after the Knicks game, and they were up. He had the Knicks a -2.5 at halftime. And they were up 50-55. And on that last second shot, the dude hit the 3-pointer to make it 55 to 53 or something like that. And he lost the bet.
Bro,
he was so hot.
He happened. You know what? Damn, I don't know. Why is a slow starter too, ain't he?
No.
Okay, Kawhi Leonard over 5 points in the first quarter.
I mean, Lamont, you said he had him scoring 30. He has to have at least 5 in the first quarter, no?
I'm giving him over 5 in the first. I like that one.
That might be, yeah. I mean, again, they don't got nobody. They got Julian Swathers and Christian Brown out here guarding this guy, man.
Oh, hold on. Here's one right here I got.
And
this
Michael
might be
P. J is
controversial.
hurting too.
I'm gonna go Jokic, less than 13 rebounds.
Yeah, now you're reaching, Lamont. Now you just
Bro,
randomly
13
selected.
rebounds is a lot of rebounds.
This is Joker. This is all he does for the team. He ends up with 16 rebounds easily tonight.
Bro, he hasn't got 16 rebounds all series.
Oh wait, let's go look up these numbers. Let's go see what we got going on here. This series here. Let's look at this series. Denver, that's gonna be a good series. I think that one's probably gonna go 7 as well.
This shit is about to be quick, man. I got Clippers in like 5 or 6.
Yeah, he's averaging 11 rebounds per game.
Bro, I got Jokic under 13 rebounds, man.
Okay, so go with 13, brother. Go with the 13.
Are you sure about that, Lamont? 13 rebounds?
Go with
13.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go with it.
Okay.
Okay.
I could see him. To my opinion, I could see him having a 15 rebound type.
Because I don't trust y'all, I'm only putting
He had 12 and 10. Okay, so he had 12 and 10. 12 and 10.
He said you don't trust us.
I'm gonna put. Let me see. You know what? I'm gonna put $5 on this.
$5. Okay.
That's
Okay.
all y'all work. I don't trust y'all.
Oh, is that right, huh? Just like I didn't trust you when it came to Ben Simmons, huh? I told you I'll trust Ben Simmons once. How did that age out? Exactly.
We
You
confirming
did,
it?
You said that. You said that Ben Simmons is gonna be garbage after 2020. Not after 2020.
Yeah, bro. Listen, before you were here, I told Lamont for years that Ben Simmons is not what you think he is. He ain't.
No.
I told him that. And he stood in the pocket for Ben Simmons, which I respect, but I told him, you're going to watch. You're going to watch.
No, it wasn't on how good he was going to be. I think I was arguing about if people were blaming him for that series when he passed up the layup.
And he did. And guess what? He did. He passed up the open layup. It was his fault.
Did pass up the open layup, but what I said was, Joel Embiid had like 8 turnovers in the fourth.
He did.
And Tobias Harris, who is there for scoring, scored like 2 points for the entire game, and he's supposed to.
Yeah.
So
Tobias Harris
was easy. Yeah. I said it's easy to blame Ben for passing the layup, but I said Joel Embiid played like some garbage in that fourth. He had 8 turnovers.
It was, but here's the thing, though, Lamont. Like when you have a wide open layup underneath the basket, wide open as you can be, and you pass it up, like, dude, no, that. And listen, I'm not saying you're wrong about it because I watched the same game as you did. Both Tobias Harris and Embiid were trash.
But it's not even like he missed the passed up the layup and turned it over. He dimed it off to a guy that went to the free throw line and choked the free throws. So it still wasn't horrible because the guy went to the free throw line and he missed the free throws.
Well, I still at the end of the day, Ben Simmons should have taken the shot. At the end of the day, when you're wide open underneath the basket, you got to take that dunk. I don't care if the guy was wide open even 2 feet in front of you. That's your shot to take. You're supposed to be aggressive, and he wasn't. So and that's where his career got started after that.
No, he was wrong for passing it up, but
yeah, yes he was.
But
can you admit that I was
right that game?
Well, can you admit that I was right about Ben Simmons? Aren't you going to admit? Just like I was with the Chris Webber take, I told you.
What?
That Chris Webber was a Hall of Famer, and I was proven right.
So, no, he got into the Hall of Fame, but I never said he wouldn't get in. I said the Hall of Fame is watered down now. I said anybody can.
I'm not. Listen, I agree with you about the Hall of Fame standard. Like they're now considering putting Penny Hardaway into the Hall of Fame. I'm like, really?
I said Chris Webber, in its true sense, did not have what we define as a Hall of Fame career. There was nothing electrifying about his career. His career was just full of letdowns.
Well, a lot of letdowns that resulted in into success at times, but at the huge moments, I agree with that.
He got in. To me, I think he largely got in because he joined the media after his career was over and just made a whole bunch of friends in the media.
And more importantly, too, and there was a lot of support from a lot of the other top power forwards of his time that gave him a lot of favoritism. So that helped. But I will say that now they're trying to put Penny Hardaway into the Hall of Fame. And I'm just like, do you guys realize that Penny Hardaway's knee injuries took away what he could have been? And I think that's going to – and I think because of that, it's going to get watered down even further because then you already put Vince Carter in.
Penny is not in the media. Chris Webber got into the media and made a whole bunch of friends in the media that was going to help get him voted in. So he did himself justice. But
he got in, so yeah.
But Chris Webber, I mean, I still to this day don't believe he's a Hall of Famer at all.
Well, I've always told you, but he was a Hall of Famer, and even his stats and some of his accomplishments have proved that. So that's just is what it is.
What accomplishment? Rookie of the year?
Rookie of the year, 5-time All-Star, right? Also for his career, I don't have it in front of me, so you obviously got the computer in front of me. I think he averaged about, was it 20, 21 points a game? I don't remember. I don't have the stats right in front of me, so I'm on the phone.
Based on that standard, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, all these guys are going to be Hall of Famers. Chris Middleton.
They might. Middleton may have a strong case. He might.
Middleton don't have no case to be in nobody's Hall of Fame.
I'm saying no. I'm speaking of the standard. You and me, when we're talking, absolutely. I'm talking about the Hall of Fame standard. I'm just talking in terms of the standard that they're putting in, because they already put Grant Hill into the Hall of Fame, but the only reason why he got in is because one, he's a media favorite, and two, and then because of his college career. Yeah.
Because it's the Basketball Hall of Fame, it counts as college. Chris Webber did nothing in college other than the Fab Five and the flop.
He did let him to 2 national championship game appearances. We know that for a fact. And yes, he had the timeout, but because of the fact that somebody on the bench told him to call timeout, we can pull up the tape.
Hold on. He did nothing. He left college with nothing, because essentially everything he did in college was erased anyway, because of all the
yeah, and they should be reinstated, but that's a different conversation.
He had nothing in his NBA career. He had Rookie of the Year and a couple All-Star appearances. Outside of that, there's nothing if you're telling me that all you got to do to get into the Hall of Fame is get to a few All-Star games and be Rookie of the Year, that's a very
he led the Kings to the conference final. We know that.
Oh, a whole bunch of players led their team to the conference final.
I'm talking about the Sacramento Kings. What do the Kings have accomplished after Webber got hurt and left? What have they become?
Bro, so you telling me getting to a team to the conference finals makes you get into the Hall of Fame?
Bro, let me tell you something. I'm telling you, a lot of players in NBA circles are heavily like Chris Webber. Y'all know that.
They like Webber because they like his game. Your Hall of Fame is about your career. He had a
solid career, that warrants his induction.
Okay, so
there you go.
So give me his career.
His career, he basically played 1 season in Golden State and couldn't stand Don Nelson's stupid ass when he was trying to basically bully him around all the damn time. Like, listen. Don Nelson did a lot of things bad in Golden State that really hurt the franchise for a long time before Curry came. Then he got traded to Washington, led them to the playoffs in '97, almost did to '98. But because of his reputation, because we got to be honest with ourselves, he had a negative reputation.
Give me his Hall of Fame. Give me his Hall of Fame credentials, not all this other stuff. What is his Hall of Fame?
Fair enough. Well, let me pull it up then.
Okay, I can tell you right here. So,
please do.
He was first team All NBA 1 time.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Listen to this. 1 time.
All right, I'm listening. Go ahead.
He was an All-Star 5 times.
Yep.
He was second team All NBA 3 times. He was Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
And he led the league in rebounding in 1999.
Okay. Is that 5?
Like I said, he went to the All-Star game 5 times.
Right. Yep.
First team All NBA 1 time. NBA second team 3 times. Rookie of the Year and led the league in rebounding 1 time.
Oh. And what about his college stuff? Because listen, there's been a lot of players that had their college records erased, but still are in the Hall of Fame. So add the college stuff to it. You got to add to it.
He was a first team All-American.
Okay.
Big Ten Freshman of the Year.
Okay. And 2 national championship game appearances, even though one of them was basically a joke, unfortunately, because it was out of unfortunate circumstances. But there you go. Okay,
bro, that's not a Hall of Famer, bro.
That isn't their standards. We could basically disagree, but at the end of the day, that to them, that's Hall of Fame right there. That's Hall of Fame right there. So regardless of how you have your standard of the Hall of Fame, which listen, we have different standards, but for him, he's in there. He's in the Hall of Fame. There's nothing much we can argue about at the end of the day. So yep. Hold your L's, Lamont.
Hold on, watch this.
All right. Let's keep going.
Oh, wait, so he's a 4-time All NBA. How many All Stars did he make, Lamont?
5.
He's a 5-time All Star, a 4-time All NBA player, right?
Yep.
He has the Rookie of the Year. He won a rebounding championship. He averaged 20-9 or 20-10. If you want to go there.
There you go. That's what I was thinking.
He has 8,000 rebounds. That's not too great. He has 17,000 points. That's not great. Let's go to his playoff numbers. He only has 1,400 playoff points. Just under
hold on. Check this out. Hold on. So
700, less than 700 rebounds. This is not Hall of Fame.
ChatGPT.
This is not Hall of Fame. This is not Hall of Fame. This is not.
I asked ChatGPT. I said, give me 30 players with similar resumes to Chris Webber. Because by default, if Chris Webber got in with that lackluster resume, there's a lot of other people. I'm going to tell you all the players with equal or greater resumes than Chris Webber that will now be Hall of Famers. DeMar DeRozan, Chris Middleton, Bradley Beal, C.J. McCollum, Andrew Wiggins, Zach LaVine, Julius Randle, Brandon Ingram, Michael Porter Jr., Tyrese Halliburton, Tyler Hero, Desmond Bane, D'Angelo Russell, Christian Wood, John Collins, Miles Bridges, Fred VanVleet, Jaren Jackson, and to round the list off, who's going to be a Hall of Famer is Jordan Poole. If we go with the credential that got Chris Webber in, these are the new Hall of Fame inductees, y'all. This is what we looking at. Hell.
Well, I'll tell you this: if they create some connections with the media, they might.
Well, hey, so tell me this, Peter Backdrew. No, Peter Backdrew put this here. He says, "Hey, Johnny, nobody cares about totals or put stocks in totals to LeBron. So why are the majority of the top 10 guys in the totals are in the Hall of Fame, but not for the
Let me share my screen.
There's more guys
who
are in the top 10 in averages that are not in the Hall of Fame than if you do that with the totals. So
I got more names for you that are going to be Hall of Famers because it says 30 more Weber Standard future Hall of Fame candidates. Tobias Harris, Brooke Lopez, Aaron Gordon, Kyle Kuzma, Derek White, Hall of Famer. Austin Reeves is now a Hall of Famer because of Chris Webber.
hey, Lamont, before you keep reading,
we would have to limit this though to Rookie of the Year guys. If these guys ain't win Rookie of the Year,
hold on. Hey, Lamont, before you keep reading, can you imagine if Austin Reeves gets into the Hall of Fame? Can you imagine if locker room would lose his mind if that happens?
That would be funny. Hold on. Next up,
Austin Reeves in the Hall of Fame, and then Brandon Katz and locker room will lose their mind. Say that this is ridiculous. I can't believe this.
So we got Rui Hachimura is going to be a Hall of Famer. It says, and it even gives a reason next to Rui. It says international appeal helps like it helped Yao and Sabonis. Josh Giddey, the Giddler. International media machine.
Not the P. Diddy of the NBA.
We got Anthony Simons. I like the Portland Trailblazer. Oh, here's another one. This one will surprise you.
Because I don't use ChatGPT, y'all.
It says Markelle Fultz can be a Hall of Famer now if he has a comeback career narrative because of the Chris Webber standard.
Dude, that's not gonna happen. So I mean, you forget that.
It says number 49, Dennis Schroeder is now Hall of Fame eligible.
That's not happening.
Jonas Valanciunas, Jakob Poeltl.
Don't worry about it, Chad. It ain't happening.
Hold on, Chris Webber did this. Don't get mad at me.
No, I don't believe what ChatGPT says, but go ahead, keep reading.
Norman Powell, Malik Monk, Karis LeVert. It says Joe Harris and Clint Capella are now all Hall of Famers because of Chris Webber. And mind you, guys, this is the Chris Webber standard, as y'all can see. The Chris Webber standard right here.
Well, thankfully the writers don't use ChatGPT.
Now,
for
hey
their
Johnny,
credentials.
you said only put in guys that won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, put the guys who won Rookie of the Year. And while you do that, Lamont, I'm going to show you the guys who have 5 All-NBAs that would be considered basically Hall of Famers like Chris Webber. So we got Luka Dončić. We already know he's going to be there. Joel Embiid would be a Hall of Famer because he got 5 All-NBAs. Who else is on this list here? Let's see here. Yao Ming has 5 All-NBAs. You put him on that. So Amari Stoudemire got 5 All-NBAs.
I think Yao Ming's already in the Hall of Fame. He's already in there.
Yeah, I know. Yao Ming's in there. So then you would have to put Kawhi Leonard's got to be in it. Paul George.
Oh, yeah, Kawhi belongs in there. Yep.
Paul George.
I like the list that he's coming up with now with Rookie of the Year.
Oh, yeah. So add the players for the Rookie of the Year.
If you have to have a Rookie of the Year, number one, they got LaMelo Ball. I believe LaMelo Ball is going to be a Hall of Famer.
Well, are you sure about that?
Yes. Paolo Branchero.
Okay.
I don't mind Branchero, but it says Tyreek Evans is going to be a Hall of Famer.
Tyreek is not going to be a Hall of Famer. Cut it out,
Michael,
man. Settle
it
down.
says Michael Carter Williams is now Hall of Fame eligible. Andrew Wiggins is now Hall of Fame eligible.
Nope.
Malcolm Brogdon is now Hall of Fame eligible because of the Chris Webber standard. Scotty Barnes, and you know what? Guess who's now Hall of Fame eligible now, Mahari?
Ben Simmons. I figured they put Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons, there you go, Mahari. Ben Simmons, there you go.
Oh boy.
Ben Simmons, Elton Brand.
Ben Simmons, man.
Oh, Elton Brand's a good one, Lamont. Let's go to Elton Brand's career. Elton Brand is actually a good. That's actually a good one. That is actually a good one. I know, but that's actually a good one. If you want to say what Chris Webber is, then why shouldn't Elton Brand be one?
Exactly.
You know what? That's a good point. That's a good point.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me give a shout out to Leftover Take. My bad, y'all. Let me give a shout out to Leftover Take. $4.99 super chat. He says Chris Webber has more all NBA nods than most of the list combined. That's not true.
I agree with you, Leftover Take.
Okafor is a good one too.
All right, yeah. So Elton Brand got 2 All-Stars, one All-NBA selection. He does have a Rookie of the Year award. He's averaged 16 and 8 for his career. He has just about 17,000 points. He got 16,800 points. He has more rebounds than Chris Webber. He has 9,000 rebounds. Chris Webber don't have 9,000 rebounds. Let's go to the playoff numbers. He didn't do too. He didn't do too much in the play. He has no playoff numbers. He has no.
He only had one playoff. I think he only had one playoff. Maybe 1 or 2 playoff.
Nah, he's been in the playoff 5 years, but it ain't done nothing.
ChatGPT is nasty, Mahari. Look what it just did.
Nasty work.
It says
that's all right. That's why the writers don't follow ChatGPT. But go ahead.
ChatGPT just said, let's rank them by. They created a new category. Says. Most likely to Webber their way into the Hall of Fame category.
Oh, wow.
So it's Branchero is number 1, LaMelo Ball, Scotty Barnes, Andrew Wiggins, Malcolm Brogdon, Ben Simmons. They say this is what it says. It says all Ben Simmons needs is a comeback and one more All-Star, and he'll be in the Hall of Fame just like Chris Webber.
Wow.
Well, I don't think the media is going to allow that to happen. But I mean, hey, that's ChatGPT for you. I mean, listen, I'm not worried about most of that list because realistically, those guys are not going to get it. Maybe
hold on now.
Pablo, maybe. I want to see more Pablo's career and how he progresses.
Lamar got more. ChatGPT got more for you, Mahari.
It says right here. Now, Mahari, ChatGPT is asking you a question, and it says, would you like me to build a full future Hall of Fame inductees Rookie of the Year edition fake ceremony lineup?
Why not? Let's see. Just for fun's sake. Go ahead. Let's see. This is just for fun. I don't care. Go ahead. Go ahead. Put the question. Put it in there. I like to see it. Because I'm gonna laugh. Because I'm gonna laugh at the ridiculousness of this list. But go ahead. Go ahead.
I know Ben Simmons made a couple of All NBAs.
It's doing it. It says the fake.
Oh, here it comes. Here it comes.
Ceremony rookie boys class of 2040. The host is Ernie Johnson of TNT.
If he survives.
That's what it says.
If he survives. But go ahead.
So you want me to read it for you?
I can see it, but go ahead. Read it. Read it.
This is the number one inductee of the class of 2040. This is from Chino Hills to Australia to Charlotte. Somehow still leads the league in ankle sprains and tunnel fits. It says the most viral passer of his generation. If half of those passes were turnovers, welcome Hall of Famer LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball is now in the Hall of Fame due to Mahari's standard.
Oh yeah, sure.
We got Paolo Branchero. His presenter is going to be Grant Hill, and they say a former number one pick who made being big and smooth look easy. Just don't ask him how many playoff series he won. An all-star, a FIBA star, and now Hall of Fame star. Welcome, Paolo Branchero to the Hall of Fame, man.
Oh my God, this is nasty work.
We got Scotty Barnes. He's the next inductee. He's getting inducted by Kyle Lowry. They said Toronto's favorite son after Drake, a positionless basketball pioneer. If your position is trying, it says it right here. It says if your position is trying really hard, defense wins championships, or at least Hall of Fame votes. Welcome Scotty Barnes to the Hall of Fame. We got Scotty Barnes. Oh, next up is very interesting. Steph Curry's going to be inducting them in. We got Andrew Wiggins. This is the only player in NBA history to sleepwalk through 7 seasons, then wake up just in time to win a ring, a number one pick, a final starter, and now somehow a Hall of Famer, Andrew Wiggins. Ladies and gentlemen, we got.
Hey, Lamont.
We know that's not going to happen, but hey, it's fun to read it.
Chat GTP knows Zesty Jeffrey logic like none other. They done heard it all too. They said just.
Oh boy,
they said he woke. They said he woke up just in time to win an NBA championship.
Let's do the Ben Simmons induction because they got Ben Simmons. Joel Embiid is inducting them in. And man, Joel Embiid says, defense, passing, height, everything you want.
Never gonna happen.
Except shooting or playing in June. From LSU to Rookie of the Year to meme legend to Hall of Fame. It says Ben Simmons, come get your flowers finally, man. We got Ben Simmons in the Hall of Fame.
Sure.
Just because
the
of
guy can't decide if he's going to shoot left or right hand. And pass them on the lip.
Because Mahari like the Sacramento Kings of the 2000s. That's why.
And why not? I mean, why not? They were really an explosive team at that time. They just could never beat the Lakers. They could never beat the Lakers. That's all.
Oh man.
Well, that was fun.
Lamont, what's the final ceremony slogan? What is it? Hold on, wait, you right there? No,
where?
No, scroll down a little bit more. Scroll. It says final ceremony.
The final ceremony slogan is, you might have peaked early, but tonight you peak forever. Welcome to the Hall of Fame.
Stupid. That is actually a brutal line, man. That is just brutal.
That was crazy.
Hold on. It says ceremony highlights.
LaMelo
pulls up in a Lamborghini wearing sunglasses indoors.
Okay, facts.
Scotty Barnes hugs Masai Ujiri mid-speech and thanks to the Toronto fans 14 times. That's nasty right there.
Oh, my God.
What? Is it like the Allen Iverson practice rap where he uses the word practice 20 times?
Oh, man, look what it says. It says Ben Simmons has to be substituted out mid-speech because of back tightness.
Oh, man, that's fucked up. That is messed up.
It says Andrew Wiggins gives the shortest Hall of speech in Hall of Fame history. I'm just happy to be here, man.
Thank you. That's it.
Michael Carter Williams cries on stage because he can't even believe he made it in, man.
We know that's not going to happen.
This is the Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. NBA Hall of Fame induction ceremony, man.
Exactly. All because Chris Webber. All because they let Chris Webber in the.
Listen, y'all know that ain't gonna happen. Shut up. Y'all know it ain't gonna
Mahari
happen.
Nation Sports Podcast.
Yeah. Whatever. I still bust your ass in the hardwood, but hey, it is what.
Hey, look, man.
That's funny. That's funny, man.
That's real funny. I needed that laugh, but to be honest with you, man, you lost the argument. So hold your L to that.
All right. I know.
You lost the argument to Chris Webber, but listen, Shaq beat GBT is funny, man.
Chris Webber got 70 stats. If he was in the 70s, he could make the Hall of Fame. But playing that he played in the 2000s, and he don't even got 20,000 points? Nah, son. He don't even got 10,000 rebounds? Nah, son. He shouldn't be in there. He only got 5 All-NBAs. That's it. Now, 5 All-NBAs is kind of decent, but still, that's you know.
Well, he got in, so I mean, hey, he got in. So I mean, we can critique about it. It's all good, but he got in, so it is what it is.
Hey,
Lamont, man. Hey, Lamont, man. I was actually balling out at the at the community center today, bro, and man, I'm just beat up, bro. Man, I'm getting in that work. I'm trying to develop that left hand too. You know what I mean? That left hand layup, left hand shot. It's something that I've been working on for the last couple of months to try to unlock my game.
Yeah, just go watch 1988 Jordan. You'll find all the film you need to learn on your left hand. You'll be all right. Don't worry. Just do that.
Oh, sure. Okay, first of all, Johnny, I'm not a Jordan. I'm not a JDR. Relax, man.
I know. It was just I was just joking with you. I'm just saying, but if you really want some help, go to 1988 Jordan. Your left hand will be perfect, just like 1988 Jordan's left hand was.
First of all, bro, Jordan had never had no dang left hand before he even got it. Even when he was in college, because I remember the Kenny Smith interview when he talked about how Jordan's hand was whack. You ain't got no damn left hand.
But
for real.
Hey, y'all. I'm about to go ahead and shut this one down. I like I said,
yes, sir.
I want to commit to doing these lives more frequently. So I just
got to find
time throughout the day to lock these in. Appreciate you pulling up, Mahari. Salute to Goat James Kingdom. He pulled up as well. Salute to everybody that came through to support the stream today. Make sure we give one final shout out to everybody that donated. We got Anthony. Appreciate Anthony coming through. We got Ricky E245 coming through. He said, peace, bro, with the super chat donation. We got Muslim Made with the 99-cent donation. And Muslim Made, look, 99 cents, $9.99. I don't care. The super chats, man, we appreciate them all, man. Muslim Made came with another super chat. And then he comes with another super chat on top of that. He says, let's do it again. Support the channel. Like, subscribe to the Clips channel as well. Again, salute to Muslim Made, man. Obviously, I'm going to create a special tribute, probably some tribute music for the top donors. Obviously, with Muslim Made, you definitely going to be a mod. Hopefully, if you're still in the chat, Muslim Made, make sure you comment in there so I can make you a mod real quick. Hopefully, you're still here. But if you're not, I'll just have to get you when the stream is over. But again, I appreciate you for coming through, supporting the channel as always. We also have leftover takes with the last super chat of the night. He says with this Chris Webber take, and I like the YouTube logo leftover take, man. That's pretty smooth there with the Slam magazine. I actually don't mind that. Slam magazine might be one of the most underrated magazines of all time. Might be one of the GOAT basketball magazines, right? And I think that's like more of a 2000s magazine. So anybody that came up in the 2000s, y'all know. You know, Bezo the Prophet says, great show. Appreciate you, Bezo the Prophet. Bezo the Prophet is another one of those guys that's a top donor, always coming through in the Cash App to support the channel. Salute to Bezo the Prophet as well, coming through to support. And like I said, you know, the fact that you guys are showing a lot more love with the donations, with the super chats. Like I say, I think it's my responsibility to make sure that I'm coming more consistently with the live streams. If you guys have live stream topics that you want me to do, let me know. If you have any specific topic that you want me to cover, just let me know. You can hit me up on IG or you can email me, and we can just start really keying in on certain topics that you want me to cover. I really didn't want to do the Shadur Sanders topic because it's not really a football channel, but it sounds like a lot of you guys want to talk about the Shadur Sanders thing. So I may do a Sunday night stream on Shadur Sanders, but I just don't I don't understand how people just don't see the obvious with Shadur Sanders. You know, I mean, the man shot himself in the foot with the draft stock by dismissing and acting as if he was bigger than the workouts. And I honestly just don't know what to expect. What do you honestly expect if you treat the draft process like that? You know, like if you treat the draft process like that, I mean, you gotta expect that, you know, teams ain't gonna really be rocking with you too heavy. You know, you might be able to get away with that at wide receiver, cornerback, lineman, where the job is more simplified. But when you're the quarterback, I mean, they literally giving you the keys to the franchise. They got to know you the right guy. So we'll talk about that later. Sounds like a lot of people have opinions on that. I just didn't mean to cut people off. I didn't want to get into much of that today. We got to save it for another show because we're truly and honestly supposed to be just talking about the Lakers today. But 3 hours, 25-minute show, man. Appreciate everybody that stuck around the whole time. Salute to everybody that donated to the channel, whether it was via Cash App or the Super Chat. We'll be back live tomorrow. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow morning for Johnny, the exposure on this Sunday morning show with that group and that panel. I'm probably going to come through tomorrow night, just depending. I might do something for the Laker game before or after. I don't know. It depends on what time Johnny finishes, or might just wait till Monday. But I'll be trying to find a way to get you guys some content going into tomorrow as well. But FYF Sports, man, another great podcast episode. Y'all, we're going to be back with more sports and news. Until then, man, it's FYF Sports, and we out.